Talk. Inspiration in perspective.
Express yourself. Good morning, my neighbors.
Citi FM, your station.
It's a refreshing lifestyle.
Citi FM 97.3.
Shout Jesus! Hallelujah! Look at your neighbor, say, I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. Okay. Clap, everybody. Come on. Everybody. Are you ready? Hey. Yeah. Everybody. Yeah.
This is Citi 97.3.
Mono icone Marcelo Lotto Amma Moi Monico Iconico Cosito Moi Bomoli Mussumanetti Sose Come on, send me higher.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Everybody. So when I call, everybody, come on. Do you love Jesus? Lift your hands and say, it's amazing. It's amazing. One more time. The Lord will answer your prayers tonight.
Rise above the noise.
Jesus loves you, everybody. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. Oh, sing it, I am a friend.
Seven after 6, entering the new month with a renewed awareness that we are friends of God. He calls us friends. We're not just small entities in the scheme of things. No, we are agents of transformation. We are God's very dear friends, and He is our friend too. Welcome to the new month, and it's the best day of the week. Thursdays, I love Thursdays. They bring us very close to the weekend. But this is the beginning of the new month. And our friends from New Song, PIWC or Doko are reminding us on this new month that we are friends of God. Now listen, while it's refreshing to know that we are God's friends and that He doesn't see us as enemies but friends, while it's reassuring that we are his friends, because he's a dependable, loyal, and faithful friend to have, we must also remember that friendship reposes confidence and responsibility on us. Now think about it. How dependable have you been? Can God also depend on you as his friend to stand for what's right even when it's not popular and easy? Friendship is a call to responsibility. Friends stand by each other. Friends share common values. They fight to protect these values, rain or shine. So, what values are you fighting to protect? Because as you claim and sing that you're a friend of God, these are binding on you. Big reflections for your morning as we start a brand new month. 29 minutes after 6, Thursday morning. Oh, but do find for yourself good friends, because Jim Rohn says that you are the average of your 5 friends. So start this new month with a friendship audit. There are those who stick closer than a brother. There are those who only show up when there is a beef. They bring the sauce. There are those who only criticize. They are more than opposition leaders in your life. No, some only cheer you. Those are fans. But this month, recruit for yourself a fine blend of friends who will challenge you but hold your hands, criticize you but also celebrate you. Those who will give you a shoulder to cry on but also look you in the face and say, buddy, you were wrong. You need that friend. And for an entrepreneur, a business person, you need a friend in ADB. If you're a paid employer or salaried worker, and you need a personal loan to resolve your financial issues, ADB is that friend. They are offering you a variety of personal loans, including top-up loans at significantly reduced interest rates. You also need a longer tenor. You enjoy a longer tenor of up to 6 years. This offer is open to non-customers as well. Kindly visit the nearest branch or call us on 0302-210-210 or 0302-224-043 for further inquiries. ADB is your business friend. ADB is the people's bank. ADB is truly a great kid more. And if you're looking for that show that sticks closer than a brother, that cares, that goes all out for you, it's called the Citi Breakfast Show. The dial is 97.3 Citi FM. My name is Caleb Kuda. Join us, my friend. Let's have a great show together.
We understand the excitement of preparations that comes when your child gains admission into senior high school. But we at the Agricultural Development Bank, ADB PLC, also understand the financial burden this comes with. The chop box, trunk, school mattress, you name it. That's why we have partnered with Prospectus Ghana Limited to offer financial support for parents by introducing the ADB Quick Purchase. With a smart loan of up to 20,000 Ghana cedis, you can pick up all the items on your child's prospectus for school. ADB PLC offers you a repayment plan of 12 months to relieve you of all that heavy financial burden. Every ADB customer who receives their salaries through the bank, military and police personnel, and all other workers on the Controller and Accountant General's payroll qualify for this facility. Walk into any ADB branch nationwide or any Prospectus Ghana Limited office near you to apply for the ADB Quick Purchase. Terms and conditions apply. ADB, the People's Bank. ADB, truly a Greek and more.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This is Citi 97.3.
And D, don't worry about a thing. Everything is going to be all right. Newspaper review coming up next. So much happening in the world of news. We'll bring them to you from the newspapers and the portals. But mark your calendars for Saturday, the 3rd of August, 2024. This very Saturday, Fidelity Bank is excited to invite you to the exclusive property event at the Mayfair Garden East Airport from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Visit our Fidelity Bank booth to get all the details on flexible home financing offerings. It's an opportunity you won't want to miss. Fidelity Bank, believe with us. Now, have you heard about the incredible benefits of Excellium from Total Energies? Total Energies introduces Excellium new formula, the additive enriched fuel, which with its powerful 3-in-1 action that cleans your engine, extends its life, and lowers your fuel consumption. So go for Total, my friend, because you will drive, experience the difference with Total Energies Excellium new formula. Choose Excellium, choose quality, and choose not to worry. Because guess what? The man whose laughter brightens your day is here. Richard, the last guy.
Yeah, man.
No, Richard, the last guy. No, this morning your energy is worried small.
No, the energy there.
Are you sure?
Oh, Charlie.
The system needs some energy.
Yeah, as for that energy there, you call it vitamin M.
That vitamin.
Charlie, vitamin M, if you don't do body. It means that you are running crana.
What? You are running crana. Later, you have some vitamin M this morning.
Not really, but Charlie, we are here.
No, Ibrahim. Yeah.
Yeah, Charlie, we don't the whole thing. We did this. No problem. No problem with it.
No, don't worry at all.
Give me my pop.
Ghanaian Times this morning.
Ghanaian Times this morning says MMDA is tasked to improve roads nationwide.
Yeah, man.
As president presents fleet of heavy-duty equipment for maintenance, rehabilitation, and upgrade of roads.
They call it drip.
Yep. Also on the front page this morning, 2024 general election would complete abandoned projects nationwide before starting new ones. This coming in from former President John Dramani Mahama. Also on the front page, I will establish a traders bank, create jobs for your children. This is coming in from Alan Cash, who is promising traders.
All right, the president is also on the front page of the Daily Graphic, and the paper says President launches road improvement program. Initiative provides 2,240 road construction equipment, creates 10,000 jobs. Reverend Edu Jemfi is telling Ghanaians to choose peace over violence, in relation to the 2024 election. EC begins mop-up registration today, and there's a special supplement on housing, which is inside the Daily Graphic. Okay. Of course, it's tied to Graphic and Greatest Housing Fair, which begins today. Plus, NHI launches free annual health checkup initiative.
Okay, so let me take you to the Chronicle. One district, one set of road equipment.
Okay.
As President Kufuor launches DRIP, distributes over 2,000 maintenance equipment to MMDAs.
Yeah,
still within that space, local government minister elated over acquisition of road improvement equipment. Also on the front page this morning, Majority Caucus wants a Bagbin to recall Parliament a day after recess. And Tema Court overturns his ruling to seize Nene Okumu Lanwes vehicle.
The Daily Guide says Nana launches DRIP or DRIP for Better Road Network. Northerners embrace Baumia's vision of possibilities. Ifeanyi Koto sues A+ for 5 million cedis. And affirmative action bill passage, a critical move in gender equality. That's coming from the minister, Daquan Newman.
Okay, the new finder says 2,240 machines to fix roads. It will create 10,000 jobs, according to the president. Recall Parliament to approve loans, bills. Majority Leader Alex Apenyo-Marking is here on the front page of the new finder. Nice. Ghana Gas shuts down for 17 days to carry out planned maintenance. BOG mandates Ghana card for forest transactions. Okay. And then the minority has filed an RTI request to demand cost of drip project.
The Daybreak newspaper also has the drip story on its front page. The other stories here include Apenyomakin demands extraordinary house sitting, and Ghana must abandon multi-party democracy. That's the former Cowbank MD Frank Edu Jr. speaking there. Okay. And the Daybreak newspaper is saying that there's a bugging scare that has hit the Ghana Armed Forces, and it looks like they will be bringing that to us in future editions.
Sure. Let me take you to the Daily Post, the newspaper. Emil Short goes. Election Watch Ghana demands retraction of statement backing the Electoral Commission. Again, Mahama Yariga making a request for the cost of the drip projects, also on the front page of the Daily Post newspaper. And December polls, voters will decide who you will hand over to, not you. Mahama is telling Nanado Dankwe Kufuado.
Okay, the Anchor newspaper says, don't politicize Atlantic lithium deal ratification. Central region chiefs plead with parliament and political actors. Ghana-Germany exchange program in carpentry ends successfully. And Richard, the story you brought, Ghana Gas to shut down, but assures public of no doomsaw.
Okay, let me take you to my final two newspapers. The Independent newspaper, the New Independent, it says, Alan shakes Bono as he intensifies a nationwide campaign of hope. The story about the drip also on the front page. Something here, demo to hit Chief Justice over LGBTQ plus delay. And no Ghana card, no foreign currency transaction, as BOG sets August 1 as the starting point. Today is the 1st of August, right?
Yes.
So effective today if you go to change your money or whatever transaction.
You need to show your Ghana card.
Really? Would the people obey? We urge them to obey though.
They should. It's a good one.
It's a good one. But the question is whether if you go to that black market, they don't observe the rules. And many of the what do you call it, the forex bureaus too. But we hope that they comply with the directive. BNFT says BOG's stringent forex ID requirements take effect today. JCB Bank Partners Retail Banking Institute, and then also blocks TBD hackathon grants to address gaps in payment system. Blocks TBD hackathon grants to
no. So I guess there's a hackathon, and as part of the hackathon, you are getting a grant. So or the grants.
Okay, so blocks TBD hackathon grants to address
gaps in payments.
I see.
Page 2 explaining it better.
Right. And then Akufo-Addo launches the program that we spoke about.
Okay, let's take it online quickly. CitiNewsroom.com. Expedite assent of anti-LGBTQ bill to evade God's wrath. Osu Traditional Council to Akufo-Addo. Kolebu Allied Health Professionals threaten to suspend outpatient services. After marking petitions backbone to recall Parliament in wholesale. Petitioners appeal ruling on Amewu's election. And Ghana must abandon multi-party system. Former Cowbank MD speaking at the under the baobab tree conversation.
That's a bold call.
Very, very bold one. And in the ambulance case, AG's decision to appeal ruling good for law. Bobby Banson is speaking on lack of faith in Ghana's judiciary troubling for electoral integrity. National Security Minister Kandapa is speaking here. Lands Commission is stifling efforts to make a list of government lands public. This is a Blackwa lamenting. And then if you go to my Joy Online, Professor Nyako Buampom served injunction notice not to hold himself as UCC Vice Chancellor. I know what's going on between UCC and KNUST. Their VCs are getting a lot of court cases over their legitimacy. Now, Mahama would renegotiate IMF deal if he gains presidency. Story here. An interesting one here. Akufo-Addo adds Mahama to his administration. Quickly reacts. Say the Akufo-Addo Mahama administration is man, can we?
Who said that?
The presidency.
Oh, you not seen the video? No, your man is doing things. Donald Trump is questioning the race of Kamala Harris. But if you go to CNN, Kamala responds and she says that Americans deserve better. The American people deserve better. Harris responds after Trump questions her race and a lot of things. 17-year-old charged with murder of 3 girls in Southport attack. These girls were in a dance class, and then this 17-year-old just shot them like that. Something. But let's get into the details of the papers, gentlemen.
So we take off this morning with a story surrounding the MMDAs who are getting new equipment for purposes of resurfacing the roads in their respective, district. Now, if you go to page 13 of the Ghanaian Times newspaper, the story, which is their lead story, is there. Details by Clef Ekufu. And it says President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo yesterday presented a fleet of 2,240 units of heavy-duty equipment to all 265 metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies in the country to enable them maintain, rehabilitate and upgrade urban and feeder roads in their respective areas. Now, the fleet procured under the District Road Improvement Program included motor graders, backloaders, rollers, wheel loaders, bulldozers, tipper trucks, concrete mixers, water tankers, low beds, and other essential equipment. Now, DRIP is a new initiative of the government geared towards enhancing the country's road network while decentralizing development and improving the quality of lives of Ghanaians. Now, the cost of the project, we are not so sure of. So, the Honorable Mahama Yariga, who is the Member of Parliament for the Boku constituency, has sent an RTI request.
You've seen that? I have it online. I could share with you
can share
quickly.
that. It's on the front page of the New Finder, but go on.
Good. Minority files RTI request to demand cost of DRIP project. Story by Hamida Mohammed. And it goes on to say the Minority Caucus in Parliament is seeking information on the prices of road construction equipment under the District Road Improvement Program, DRIP. The program, launched on Wednesday, July 31, aims to address road maintenance challenges by collaborating with the MMDAs and equipping them with earth-moving machines. But in a statement signed by Mahama Yariga, he says they are demanding the cost of each unit of equipment procured for DRIP, the payment schedule for the equipment, and the total payment made for the equipment as of now, among other things. You know, we are in election year and there are promises not to overspend. And so, very critical probe into some of these things. Great initiative to get our road better. But the question remains that some of the district assemblies don't even have their funds released yet, and how are they going to fuel these things? Big conversation all unfolding. We see how it ends, Nathan.
Well, just a final bit of info that I think will tie this up. The president said that the implementation of the program would be overseen by a 4-member committee at each metropolitan, municipal or district assembly. Now, that committee will have 1 technical officer from the local government ministry, 1 technical officer from the Ministry of Roads and Highways, 1 person from the 48th Engineers Regiment, all under the chairmanship of the MMDCEs.
Okay, but let's stay with that particular, the political and development related issues. Now, if you go to page 11, the president's predecessor is speaking here. John Dramani Mahama says would complete abandoned projects nationwide before starting new ones. This is on page 11 of the Ghanaian Times. Now, David O. Yaboetete, reporting from Cape Coast, says the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, says he will complete all abandoned projects across the country before starting new ones after winning the 2024 elections. Now, to that end, he said the party had commissioned special team. Should be a special team that was taking inventory of all abandoned projects and would forward it to their document to the leadership of the party for the necessary action. Now, additionally, he indicated that the NDC's resolve not to tread the path of the current administration as it was committed to completing all ongoing projects.
Still on politics, Nana Akufo-Addo adds Mahama to his administration. Quickly retracts. Story on my journal. President Akufo-Addo caused a brief stare at the launch of the District Road Improvement Program DRIP on Wednesday. The initiative, we know the background. Now, while addressing dignitaries during the launch, President Akufo-Addo stated that the intervention is proof of his administration's commitment to improving road quality. However, his speech took a political turn when he began to make political comparisons. The president sought to demonstrate how, in his view, the NPP administration had surpassed the opposition in the number of kilometers of roads constructed as against the erstwhile Mahama era. It is at this point that he mistakenly roped in former President Mahama into his team. This caused a short uproar, after which he retracted. There's a video here. It says the Akufo-Addo Mahama administration. This should be the Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration.
The other people will say, we reject it in the name of Jesus.
And the other people say, amen.
Stay with politics, page 7. Page 7. Of the Daily Guide. And the Vice President is here, Dr. Bawumia. He has ended the Possibilities Tour Phase 2 in the 5 regions of the northern part of the country. He began the tour in his own region of the northeast. And then he started a tour with a constituency-based campaign in Nalerugu, Gambaga, Yunyo, and Bumpurugu constituencies, with engagements with energized party folks and ordinary Ghanaians who appreciate his vision for Ghana's future. So that story on page 7 gives details of play-by-play, if you like.
So since you are there, let me take you to the other tall man in the race, Alan Cash. There's details of his story on the front page of the new independent newspaper. Details actually on page 3. Alan shakes Bono as he intensifies a nationwide campaign of hope. Now, it says during his recent visit to the Bono Bo-Soma market in the Sunyani municipality of the Bono region, Mr. Alan Chermanteng, the presidential candidate for the Movement for Change, Alliance for Revolutionary Change, made 2 significant pledges aimed at bolstering the economic prospects of traders and the youth. Now, addressing a large and enthusiastic gathering of traders, Chermanteng unveiled his commitment to establishing a dedicated traders bank. Now, this initiative is designed to provide essential capital to traders, enabling them to expand their businesses, invest in new opportunities, and enhance their livelihoods. I don't know why the print is so small. Independent.
And
something about
isn't
the print.
as clear also.
Yeah.
But a couple of stories of interest. Lack of faith in Ghana's judiciary troubling for electoral integrity. This is on citinewsroom.com. And then for those who are seeking to jackpot or you would want visas, U.S. Embassy in Ghana to launch new visa services provider website. And then also let us think about abandoning the multi-party system. Former CalBank MD, let me stay on this one quickly. Abigail Arthur writes on citinewsroom.com, former CalBank MD Frank Edu Jr. has advocated for Ghana to abandon its multi-party system and instead introduce a 2-party system. He made this statement while addressing participants at the conversation under the Baobab Tree Odadia National Dialogue themed So Much Things to Say, held in Accra on Wednesday. Mr. Edu emphasized the necessity for the country to officially recognize that it effectively operates a 2-party system. Quote, let us agree to abandon multi-party democracy and instead a dual-party democracy. That is to say, let us officially recognize that we have 2 parties because effectively that is what we have, but let us officially recognize it. It goes on to justify this point. But Kandapa is speaking. He says that the lack of faith in the judiciary is troubling for electoral integrity. National Security Minister Albert Kandapa is worried over what he describes as a lack of trust in the country's judiciary by politicians. He says that commentary by political actors ahead of the December 7 polls leaves much to be desired. His concern essentially is that if people don't feel after an election where they feel that justice was not done, they will get justice when they go to the Supreme Court, then they will then deploy all kinds of means during the polls. So
I think people should have integrity themselves.
The judiciary.
People should have integrity themselves as politicians. I mean, elections are one at the
polling station.
Yeah, so not this whole idea. I mean, in which country do you have every election year you are going to the courts so that the courts will do what? I mean, the elections must be irreparably flawed as to leave the court in no doubt that, look, this thing has got to be terminated. Let's go back and do it. So put the right people at the polling stations to supervise the elections for you, and keep your eyes on the situation. And when collate your results properly, and let's know what happens. And the media will play its part. Civil society too, and the people who are coming from external sources to also observe the elections. All of us can work together to ensure a credible election without the need to have to invite our courts to come and police the process after the fact. Anyway, let me take you to page 2 of the Chronicle. Majority caucus wants Bagbin to recall Parliament a day after recess. Maxwell Ofori, reporting this morning for the Chronicle, says the Majority caucus in Parliament has commenced the process to have the Speaker, Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, to recall members from recess. Now, a memo addressed to the Speaker, cited by the Chronicle, underscored the need for Parliament to reconvene to attend to matters of national importance. Now, fortified by Article 112, Clause 3 of the 1992 Constitution, Alexander Penyo, marking the majority leader, who also leads government business in the House, wrote to the Speaker to recall Parliament. Now, Article 112(3) allows 15% of MPs to convene a parliamentary session. Now, this is reinforced by the Standing Orders of Parliament, Standing Order 53.1 and 53.2, stressing the Speaker's obligation to summon Parliament within 7 days after receipt of the request.
Well, time is up, but Nathan will add a quick one.
Yes, the Ghana National Gas Company has announced that its processing plant and offshore gas export facilities will be shut down between August 1 and 17. The shutdown is to allow critical safety and essential maintenance works to be carried out, but the company says that there will be no doom saw. Okay, the lights will still be on.
Let's hope that happens. Thank you, gentlemen. If you went to CNN, though, Iran vows retaliation for the assassination of Hamas political chief. His funeral drew a lot of crowd, and there's so much happening geopolitically, but you can get more when you go to CNN. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us for the newspaper review.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Gugomi, at what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I don't change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind self be the 3-in-1 action. No, Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. One pair way now open there.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, they make a finish my gobe fast then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why you hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small.
Go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
When you wake up in the morning and you know the money calling, oh, you go work. But you know it's on your side. If I believe with us, if I hold my hand and believe, cause you know it's on your side. And when you dream, no say I live on you. And when you hustle every day, anywhere I go, everything you do, I live on you. Anywhere. If I believe I live your side. Fidelity. If I believe with us, fidelity. If I know I lay your side, fidelity.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
58 after 6. Business news coming your way shortly. Hello world, let's help you check your dream locations of your bucket list. Make your travel dreams a reality with Access Bank. Our aviation and hospitality desk is designed with you in mind. Let's help you book and pay your ticket and secure travel insurance. Whether it's a tropical escape or a visit to family, Access Bank has you covered. Book your next flight with Emirates, South Africa Airways, Air Peace, or Africa World Airline through Access Bank. Our 55 branch network gives you convenience, easy payment, and security. Also, pay for your Qatar Airways flight with your Access Bank Visa card and enjoy up to 12% off. Visit africa.visa.com to register. Visit our website www.ghana.accessbankplc.com. Call our toll-free number 080,000 For more information and assistance, Access Bank, more than banking. Good Energy has hit the road with exciting choices to energize your vehicle. It's giving you more options to take you further. Watch this space for your choice. Girl, idea. And MTN is asking if you're a small to medium-sized business looking to manage communication cost effectively. MTN SME Plus offers flexible prepaid packages, classic, super, or premium that include talk time, SMS, data, and voice services. Enjoy free on-net calls every Monday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Dial star 5060 has to subscribe today. For more details, contact us via WhatsApp. Call 0244 308-111. Hashtag let's get business done better. It's 7 and it's time for the business news.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Latte. Sporting a black shirt this morning.
Oh,
with
Mr. Kuda, Mr. Kuda.
Afro hair and beard to match.
You let people come after me.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Caleb. How are you doing?
I'm okay. How's the world of business doing?
Well, the very latest is that beginning today, if you are to go to any forex bureau, it's now mandatory for you to present your Ghana card before you attended to.
Oh, nice.
It's part of the raft of measures that the Bank of Ghana has instituted to ensure that there's some form of sanity in the forex bureau industry.
The last question, is there vitamin M in the system? Is money in the system?
Where vitamin M means what?
Money, my brother. Money.
Well, it depends on the depth of your pocket.
Let's go into the depth of your stories.
Hello, welcome to the breakfast edition of Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goil and Access Bank. Coming up, you will have to present your Ghana card to transact business at the forex bureaus from this morning as Bank of Ghana's centralized platform for forex takes off today. Also, government on course to revive Commander Sugar Factory through a renewable 20-year lease agreement with Indian-based firm, a move significant for the company to meet domestic demand. Plus, more local rice producers to exit rice business on the back of market unavailability and stiff competition from importers of foreign brands of the commodity. It's Thursday and welcome to the month of August. Thanks for your time. I am Ni Latte. Details now. Well, effective today, all licensed foreign exchange bureaus must request the Ghana card before conducting any transaction. This directive by the Bank of Ghana accompanies the launch of a centralized foreign exchange trading platform. But how will this new system work and what are the modalities? The following News Desk report has more.
This mandate follows the launch of a centralized foreign exchange trading platform, which aligns with BOG's objective to ensure the integrity and development of the financial system. This was contained in a statement dated July 30 and signed by the Secretary to the Bank of Ghana, Sandra Thompson. The Bank of Ghana has stressed that all foreign exchange bureaus transactions shall be conducted on the new trading platform. It explains that the platform will improve oversight for directors and management of bureaus and enhance the bank's monitoring and supervision of the operations in compliance with the Foreign Exchange Act and the Anti-Money Laundering Act. The statement added that the platform has been integrated with the National Identification System to ensure all purchases and sales of foreign currencies are performed by verified individuals. This, it said, will also be integrated with a national payments platform to support electronic payment and the receipt of Ghana cedis for foreign currency transactions.
A Newsdesk report. With that in mind, let me take you to the forex market where the dollar could be sold to you at 15 cedis 85 pesos. The British pound selling at 20 cedis 30 pesos. That of the euro going for 17 cedis 60 pesos. Now, government is making a strong case for an alternative approach to addressing rising inflation instead of relying solely on monetary policy tightening. A deputy minister of finance asserts that the current strategy employed by the Bank of Ghana serves as a disincentive to investors. Speaking at the 2024 Financial Economics Seminar here in Accra, Dr. Stephen Amoah suggested that the central bank should reconsider its approach to tackle the issue.
Calibrated to rather create space for more credit and cheaper cost of credit. Sometimes I disagree, but I wouldn't say I'm right that we need to move monetary policy every time up because inflation is going up. I think we need to look at the cause of the inflation, whether it's demand pull or cost push. If it is cost push and you increase your interest rate, you aggravate the problems. But if it's demand pull, then you can do the otherwise. So I think the central bank and the banks should look at this, because sometimes investors are suffering with your decisions, and we need to review Ghana's entrepreneurial ecosystem, strengthen and harmonize the key factors.
Dr. Stephen Amoah is a deputy minister of finance. Now, the government is set to lease the Commander Sugar Development Company Limited to an Indian-based firm, West Africa Agro Limited, for a renewable term of 15 to 20 years. The Minister of Trade and Industry, K.T. Hammond, states that this initiative aims to revive the company's operations to meet domestic demand. Here's more.
The Commander Sugar Factory Company Limited, also known as the Commander Factory, was established in 1964 but halted operations for an extended period. In 2016, the previous government secured a $35 million loan from the Indian Export-Import Bank, followed by an additional $24 million investment. The factory is now undergoing a test run in preparation for full production. During a recent tour, Minister of Trade and Industry K.T. Hammond announced that the government is prepared to lease the factory to West Africa Agro Limited for up to 20 years with renewal options.
It has a board in place, as a company which has a board. We just put them in charge, but it's 100% Ghana owned. But we are leasing it. We are leasing our asset to a company which is going to work on it. Use our assets, our equipment, use it, and then pay us back at the end of the day. We're not going to have shares in their products, but the company is 100% Ghana owned. Giving it to them for 15, 20 years with an option of extension or some sort of renewal after they would sign a contract in which they will commit to be giving the government of Ghana so much money. So we will be looking to be receiving our money.
Minister Hammond highlighted the government's commitment to revitalizing the factory and criticized the previous administration for its lack of diligence.
2016 into the next election, there was a rush to commission it. It was commissioned and hasn't worked since. Nothing was put in the proper place as you now see it. A lot of things went wrong with this factory here. I've said it many times. Those of you who will recall, in answer to a question in Parliament, I explained the genesis of this and why it hasn't worked, how much money has been expended in this edifice, and how much should have actually been the actual cost, and how much government of MPP has had to invest to get it running. I told the whole country that a factory of this capacity, even now, should be costing about $18 million or so.
Trade and Industry Minister K.T. Hammond, ending that report put together by Citi Business News' Daniel Ojo-Mensah and read by Emmanuel Opon. Members of Parliament who are also rice farmers are being forced to abandon their farms due to the unavailability of market. Despite increased local production, farmers have been left to compete with foreign rice imports, leading to the local producers, including the MPs, to exit the rice business. There's more in the following report.
Ghana consumes about 1.5 million tons of rice a year. According to the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, about 60% of this quantity is imported. In 2023, the country spends over 2 billion cedis on rice importation alone. However, as local producers strive to close the gap, they are confronted with the issue of market availability as they compete with imports coming in at cheaper prices. MP for Tamale Central, Mutala Mohammed, disclosed at a Public Accounts Committee sitting that the situation has forced farmers, including members of parliament, to exit the rice business.
This year, Honorable Suhini decided that he wasn't. Let me finish. Honorable Suhini decided he wasn't going to farm. Honorable Adunga has actually cut the number of acres he planted last year, farm size. Many I intended increasing, but I decided I won't increase because I don't even have market for them.
Meanwhile, Deputy Agric Minister in charge of livestock, Mohammed Hadi Tufeiru, who admitted to the challenges, says the situation has been rectified.
Last year, we had a situation where farmers produced enough rice and we had issues with marketing, agreed. Unfortunately, the prices that buyers were ready to pay for 100 kg bag was 180, and it was not good for the farmers. So we needed to encourage our big players that have Nash, the big other players who buy in bulk to process, but they were also wanted to buy at the price that will keep them in business. About 2-3 months ago, the prices gone up to 350 Ghana cedis. So I'm surprised you say you still have stock. You can't even get Paji to buy in.
The members of the committee also raised questions about the soaring prices of food, with food inflation currently at 24%. MP for Bulsa South, Clement Apak, questioned the impact of the Planting for Food and Jobs program.
How do you reconcile the ever-increasing cost of food with the success that we claim to have chalked with regards to implementing Planting for Food and Jobs for close to 7 years?
Local producers have consistently struggled to compete with foreign goods due to the advantages of economies of scale. But now that parliamentarians are feeling the pinch in the rice farming business, hopefully they can push for legislation and policies to protect rice farmers. For Citi Business News, Charles Owusukumi.
Moving on, the Ghana National Gas Company has announced a shutdown of its processing plant and offshore gas export facilities from today, August 1, for maintenance. The exercise, scheduled to end on Saturday, August 17, aims to enhance the plant operational efficiency and ensure uninterrupted gas supply. Ghana Gas, in a statement on Wednesday, July 31, stated that lean gas from the Sankofa OCTP field during the operation will be available for delivery at Takrady distribution stations. But will this shutdown have any impact on the supply of LPG on the market? The LPG Marketers Association maintained that is unlikely to happen. Gilbert Kumi is president of the association.
To the best of our knowledge, there is no shortage of LPG in the system. I'm sure when you go around the gas stations in the country, you realize that all the gas stations are having products and we are serving consumers. What has really happened is that, we take about 50% of our LPG from a Tuabo gas processing plant. We had information from our regulator that the gas processing plant is going to shut down for about 2-3 weeks for a routine maintenance. So that is going to be done beginning from on Monday.
President of the LPG Marketers Association, Gabriel Kumi, ending the breakfast edition of Citi Business News on 97.3 Citi FM. It was proudly brought to you by MTN, Goel and Access Bank. My name is Nila Tilati. Do have a good business day.
We are live in town, soaking in the excitement about the partnership between Access Bank and PABS, revolutionizing the way people move money across Africa. Let's hear directly from those reaping the benefits.
It's a relief. Anytime I send money back home, my family receives exactly what I send them, instantly.
I'm studying in Ghana, but originally from Nigeria. With this service, my parents send my school and hostel fees directly, and they do it with so much ease.
I run a fashion business. Let me tell you, sending and receiving money across Africa without those annoying forex fees has really cut down our operational costs.
Benefit from instant payments across Africa with zero foreign exchange hassle. Visit our website www.ghana.accessbankplc.com or call our toll free on 0800 00 4400 for all your cross-border payments.
Pass it with Access Bank.
Access Bank, more than banking.
Good
energy. Hit the road with exciting choices to energize your ride, giving you more options to take you further. Watch this space for your choice.
Goil, yeah.
Hey, so as for you, every day you are just pressing your phone. Why? Are they paying you?
They are, Oma. The more I use my MTN, the more points I get. And I can use those points to get airtime, data, and even discounts at shops and restaurants.
Hey, so that is why all of you are always pressing your phones. And you won't tell us, so that we can enjoy some.
Oh, ma.
There's always more to enjoy with MTN Rewards. Just keep talking, testing, and browsing all day, every day to collect your points and use it to redeem amazing offers and discounted freebies right away. There's so much available for you. So dial *550# and get your reward today. Let's go everywhere you go.
Kweku, have you heard what they are doing on MTN?
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Fifteen after 7. Kickoff is next. Starboy Bernard Abegojo is in the studio already. Lachelle says if you are ready to power up your finances and unlock your path to prosperity, its fixed deposit solution is your best solution. Those who have tried it say Lachelle Ofechon. Lachelle, you do all. They make your money work harder for you. You just watch your wealth grow. So you don't have to settle for average returns. Join the investment revolution with our fixed deposit solution and take charge of your financial future. The number to call is 02700 40799 or send a WhatsApp on 02700 40733. Invest wisely, invest with a shareholder. Now, in a world where dreams are the driving force, one company stands out as the hope of transformation. Zonda Ghana Limited, your one-stop shop for quality trucks like Shantui bulldozers, excavators, graders, payloaders, rollers, TX trucks, and oil tanks, all made and assembled right here in Ghana. At Zonda Ghana Limited, we don't only create opportunities and empower people, but we also provide top-notch after-sales service for all your heavy and light-duty trucks and machinery needs. So visit us today at any of our 7 branches around the country and also at the head office of the Tema at Flower Road, close to the Free Zones Enclave Tema. Call us now 050-177-2222 or 050-177-3333. Zonda, built in Ghana, building Ghana. And Bernard Abekotre is in the studio. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, my brother. Happy New Month.
Happy New Month, Bernard. How was the last month? It was good, eh?
Let's get into it. We'll talk about that later.
Okay, you there. Enter it.
Welcome aboard to kick off this morning on Citi 97.3. Coming up in the next 10, Rose Amonimaya was set to make history as Ghana's first female high jumper at the Olympics. Also, Manchester City fined £2 million by Premier League for kickoff and halftime breach. All right, let's get into it. And Ghana's Rosa Mayeboa is set to make history as the country's first female high jumper at the Olympic Games. The 22-year-old secured her qualification with an impressive jump of 1.97 meters at the NCAA Championship in Eugene in June, setting a new national record in the process. My colleague Gabby Ofer takes a look at the Ghanaian high jumpers' journey prior to qualifying for the 2024 Paris Olympic Games.
Rose Yeboah of Ghana and the junior at Illinois, her third attempt, and she's over the Olympic qualifying standard and eligible to compete for her country in Paris.
Rose Yeboah's journey to Olympic qualification has been remarkable. Recently, she excelled in continental events, securing gold medals in the high jump at both the African Athletics Senior Championships and the 2023 African Games held here in Accra. These victories have not only enhanced her confidence, but also increased anticipation for her Olympic performance. Originally from Kumasi in Ghana, Yeboah's talent was clear early on. She developed her abilities at Kumasi Girls Senior High School, then pursued further education at the University of Cape Coast before receiving a scholarship to study at the University of Illinois in the United States. This access to top-tier training and competition has significantly accelerated her progress. Before heading to Paris, Yeboah shared her goal of winning a medal at the 2024 Olympic Games.
I'm really happy to see myself there to compete for my country, Ghana. I feel like my target is I want to jump above 197, like 197 and above, and I know for sure that I'm gonna make it because looking at my performance I put up during the NCAA, I feel like I'll do much better since there is going to be like a competitive among ourselves, and we already know each other. So it's really going to be a competitive one. So it's really going to push us. Do our best.
While this might seem ambitious for the debutant, her recent performances indicate it is a feasible aim. She will face some of the world's top high jumpers, including Ukraine's Yaroslava Mahushek and Australia's Eleanor Patterson, both of whom have jumped 2.00 meters. Media attaché for Team Ghana, Benjamin William Graham, at the 2024 Paris Olympic Games, notes that the young athlete is not under undue pressure to perform on Friday.
Rose is one of the most calmest athletes in camp. Obviously, like I said, it's an event for the very first time for her. This is the Olympics, what she's been able to do personally, the NCCA, the African Games, Douala, different atmospheres altogether. She's picked up the momentum. She knows that it's a very huge atmosphere that she's going to face on Friday. Having said that, the captain, Joe Paul, tries his best to calm her, talk to her, encourage her to go out there and enjoy herself and be the Rose that she has to be. And we all understand that she is in a competition where top athletes who have made very, very good jumps. The top ranked high jumper is 2.10 meters. The second ranked is 2.03. The third ranked is 1.98. And Rose, together with about 5 other athletes, have jumped 1.97. So she's within the top ranked athletes when it comes to the high jump. And that obviously means that an improvement on a jump gives her an opportunity to be at the medal zone. So it's about how she's able to really deal with it and how we all can support her to understand that the stage is different, the atmosphere is going to be different, the expectation for herself and obviously a coach and back home will be different. So it's about how she's able to manage that when she gets into the arena or the athletics over tomorrow on Friday. That will determine how things will pick up. But we are believing that she'll be able to scale the head there and then make herself proud and of course not.
We stay with the Olympics, and media attaché for Team Ghana, Benjamin Willie Graham, has explained the absence of a psychologist at Team Ghana's camp at the 2024 Paris Olympic Games is going to affect the team in response to concerns about the lack of a psychologist at the team's camp. Benjamin Willie Graham emphasized to City Sports that it is crucial to have a qualified professional in that role.
Let me clear that to the way. Having a psychologist is somebody who has to build a relationship with the athletes. And so just bringing a psychologist in camp does not necessarily mean that you're going to get the best out of the athletes. The psychologist must build a certain relationship. The athlete must believe and trust the psychologist enough to open up and speak to them. And that is what you have to look out to. And who is the psychologist you're looking at this particular stage, at this Olympic stadium, at this Olympic stage, at the Centenary Olympics that you're talking about? So I am saying, who is more qualified to be a psychologist than a 3-time Olympian as a coach in camp? Who's more qualified to be in that situation? Because he's been there before. Professor Andrew Usu may not be your A psychologist, but he's a psychologist. The athletes trust him. They open up to him all the time. He's been in that situation before 3 times. So he knows what to say to them at that stage. Because if you are in the stadium and you look at the crowd, you look at the momentum, he, having been in that situation, knows what to say to you at what time and how you can perform on that day. So if you pick an outsider who perhaps has also not seen the Olympic stage before, and to go and talk to the athlete psychologically to do what?
Well, to some, women's football and the Black Princesses will play against Women's Premier League champions Azakas Ladies as part of their preparation for the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup, which kicks off in Colombia this month. The game is scheduled for 3:30 p.m. kickoff at the Cape Coast Sports Stadium on Friday, August 2, 2024. Meanwhile, Evelyn Insia Asari, who is the CEO for Azakas Ladies, says the team will miss Yusuf Basigi's services, who also doubles as the coach of the Black Princesses.
Oh yes, I know we are going to miss his services because he started the season with us, and the last match that brought us to this stage, he has gone for the draw in Colombia. And the technical people, in fact, they are so in talking terms because they share ideas together, they do everything together. Despite the fact that Coach Yusuf Basigi is not with them physical, I believe that they are still working together. We'll miss his services because all of them bring various perspectives and ideas, so they will mix him.
To some sad news, and Germany Bundesliga 2 club Fortuna Düsseldorf said a swimming accident has caused the sudden demise of a youth team player Newton Opoku Mensah, who is of Ghanaian descent. Despite rescue efforts, Opoku Mensah later passed away in a hospital due to the consequence of the accident. Let's talk more about some latest with the Olympics, and Canada qualified for the quarterfinal of the women's football tournament hours after losing their appeal against a 6-point deduction after a drone was used to spy on a rival team's training session. Brazil's all-time leading scorer Mata walked off the pitch in tears after being shown a straight red card during their 2-0 defeat by Spain in the Olympic women's football tournament. So on the part of Africa, the Super Falcons of Nigeria and the Copper Queens of Zambia exit the Olympics after both lost all 3 group games. So the quarterfinals on Saturday is United States up against Japan in Paris, and of course Spain up against Colombia in Lyon, Canada versus Germany in Marseille, and France up against Brazil in Nantes. Well, let's do a bit before we take leave of you. And Spain's Carlos Alcaraz joined 24-time Grand Slam champion Novak Djokovic in the Olympic men's singles quarterfinals, but Alcaraz and the 14-time French Open champion Rafael Nadal were beaten in the men's doubles by USA's Austin and Rajiv, losing 6-2, 6-4. So, a bit with Manchester City, and news coming in from City, and Manchester City have been fined just over £2 million by the Premier League for breaching rules relating to kickoff and restart after half-time of matches. Well, there were 22 separate breaches over the last 2 seasons, with 8 coming during the 2022-2023 campaign and 14 last season. That's your sport. For more sports stories, log on to citysportsonline.com. Thanks to Shell, Lesheho, and Zonda. I am Bernard Baker. Sports is live. Get involved.
If you need unique services, innovative financial solutions, we deliver on our promise, cause we are number 1. Let's go, we improve your life. Let's go, even when you're stuck with nothing, no matter your situation, let's go, we improve
Guys, Charlie, you know that mining contract I've been chasing for years? I just got awarded the deal. But the issue is where to get the right and quality heavy duty trucks to execute this job here in Ghana.
Relax, my guy. Remember my recent construction deal at Pokwase? Zonda sorted me out.
Zonda? What? Who is that?
Zonda Tech Ghana Limited is your one-stop shop for machinery, heavy and light duty trucks and pickups. They have the Shantui bulldozers, graders, payloaders, rollers, power pickups, 4 land light trucks, TX trucks, and oil tanks. Made and assembled right here in Ghana with top-notch after-sale service and standard prices.
Made in Ghana. This is amazing.
You haven't seen my Zonda Power pickup, which I take to the office. Strong, durable, and tough on our roads.
Hey, that's from Zonda too?
Absolutely. Zonda is the right place for you, my guy.
Oh, now I am sorted with Zonda. Zonda Tech Ghana Limited, your solution for heavy and light duty trucks. Located at Tema, off their Flower Road. Call 0501 772 222 or 0501 773 333. Zonda, built in Ghana, building Ghana.
Channel 1 TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on Channel 363. On GoTV, we're on Channel 117. And on HD+, get us on Channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search. But take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Channel 1 TV. Channel 1 TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box, like the DSTV and HD+ boxes. Channel 1 TV, telling your story, empowering change.
Education is the most powerful weapon to change the world. At Heritage Christian University, you are assured of quality education, accredited by GTEC and affiliated to KNUST and UCC. We offer programs like Bachelor of Business Administration, Community Development and Theology, Theology and Ministry, Psychology, Nursing, Information Technology, Information Security, and Business Information Technology. Professional programs like ICA, CING, CIHRM, ABE. We also offer short courses on media and IT. What makes Heritage stand out is our experienced and scholar practitioner faculty, entrepreneurial training with financial support, ultra-modern facilities, and hostels. Qualifications for entry is WASI or SSC or GBCE, HND or Diploma Top-Up. Mature 25 years and above. Heritage is located at Amasaman behind the Olympic Stadium. Contact us on 054-777-7731 or 020-229-8399 or www.hcuc.edu.gh.
Auntie can cook.
Dedo. Dedo. What are spices? Dedo. Who be dear Philly? Dedo.
We did the dynamic ground. But Dedo spices here what Jenny says. Nanya good taste. If we say yeah the natural spices and I yeah Ghana hey I mean you want all purpose stew, noodles, curry and nutmeg and a jollof. Dedo spices. Taste yummy, taste lemon, Dedo spices, taste gainza.
City 97.3. More variety.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show. The city's biggest conversation. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Let's talk about your insurance. It's brought to you by Enterprise at 100. Enterprise, your advantage.
Insurance Today is a public education service by Enterprise Insurance. Ensure you speak with your insurance broker or agent before making any insurance decisions.
Hello. So pleased you have tuned in as we talk about understanding the insurance claims process. I'm Barbara Taylor. Imagine that our friend Ejakoto's car has been damaged in a car accident. Eja's first step would be to notify his insurer and immediately begin gathering evidence, including photos, witness statements, police report, other official reports, and relevant documentation of the accident to provide a strong basis for his claim. Eja's insurance company may have additional questions in order to assess the claim's eligibility, so providing truthful information is always good. Eja's next step is to properly file his claim, and it is advisable that he seeks help from his insurer so that they will guide him in following the set regulations. Different insurance companies have different rules for filing claims. The next stage is the evaluation of the claim. The insurer assesses Eja's claim to determine his policy coverage and the amount to be paid out to him. car repair specialists, and relevant professionals may be consulted to validate the claim. Finally, after reviewing the claim, the insurer will arrive at a settlement. It is a just duty to ensure that the settlement covers his car's eligible damages. The option of negotiation for a fair settlement is often available if a settlement is initially not agreed. When settlement is agreed, the process will be finalized for payment to be made to EJA. Write to us at insurancetoday@myenterprisegroup.io or by WhatsApp at 0548 231149.
Enterprise, your advantage.
Your insurance today was brought to you by Enterprise at 100 Enterprise, your advantage.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi 97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi 973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi 973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Are you ready for the National Sales Leaders Conference organized by Core Event Solutions and MGA Consulting in partnership with the Chartered Institute of Marketing Ghana? It is on the 14th to 15th of August, 9 a.m. each day at the Accra International Conference Center. The special guest of honor is the Minister of Finance, Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam. Don't miss out. For more information, call or WhatsApp 050-2711-070 or visit www.nslcaccra.org to book a seat now. See you there.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Sunrise in Accra is the name of this one. Walla tu walla sa. Yeah, it's a good one. We love it. And it's the birthday of Deputy Commissioner of Police Baba Sanid Adamu. This is coming from Aisha Tema Police District Command. Says you are one of the finest police officers in the service. You represent discipline, self-reliance, and hard work. May Allah bless you with good health and wisdom wherever you find yourself in life. Happy birthday, sir.
All right.
Yes,
sorry. I have one here.
Sure.
I should have done. We couldn't do this yesterday, so
let's do it.
I will still do it. This one is from the Smoga 74-year group, affectionately called the Princesses, and they want to send belated birthday wishes to Princess Wilhelmina Edu Dakun of Domi Pillar 2. July 31st was her birthday, and the message is, "We love you, Princess Wilma." So this coming from Smoga 1974. That's the St. Mary's Old Girls Association 1974-year group, affectionately called the Princesses. They're sending best wishes to Wilhelmina Edu Dakun of Domi Pillar 2.
Nice one. Domi Pillar 2, how close is that to Awoshi?
Oh, that's far. That's on the opposite side.
Yeah, because we are seeing that this morning the youth of Awoshi have blocked the highway because a traffic signal control at an intersection there has not been working for 3 years. And we are told that 2 weeks ago a truck knocked down about 4 people at that junction. So they are demonstrating this morning. The police is there, but they are in no mood to back down. So Awoshi, if you are coming to other parts of Accra through Awoshi, the youth have blocked that stretch. They are demanding that the traffic signal there is fixed, and police are there. We are told 2 weeks ago a truck knocked down 4 people at a junction, so they are demonstrating this morning. All is not cool at Awoshi.
I think that's
on the highway.
That must be around the Palace Town
right
intersection. It's
right.
True. The traffic lights haven't worked there in a while. Now there's a, so if you know that part very well, depending on where you are coming from, so let's say you are going towards Pokwasi from Awoshi, that junction is on your left. It's this wide intersection. Palace Town, you come there from your left hand side and then you come in, and it's a bit of a wide intersection, and the traffic lights have not worked. Now once that is happening, or once that happened, you can imagine drivers speeding because there's nothing to stop them from doing so. So it's quite worrying. I do pray that they will find a solution, but it strikes me that we are still dealing with this problem of non-functioning traffic lights and street lights.
Oh yeah,
Accra is a high mobility place. People move about a lot, so we need to understand that if traffic lights and street lights are not there, especially traffic lights, if we are talking about that, if they are not there, drivers will always take advantage and they'll move anyhow because there's nothing stopping them from controlling their speed.
You see,
and all of that.
Today we will actually we'll move from Awoshi small and settle at Achimota properly, because that's where we are having a big conversation. Just mention the Awoshi one so that those of you who are commuting along that stretch will know, and then the authorities will also take judicial notice of the action of the youth and fix the traffic signal so that these issues don't recur.
Yeah, but it's good, but except to say that
that one is not judicial notice.
You see, it's a term reserved for courtroom matters. So
they should take traffic notice and go and do that.
No, you can say personal notice, journalistic notice, as the case may be. But in this particular case, that's reserved for lawyers to talk about or invite the court to take judicial notice of this young man's beard.
That's well understood. Now I want to move from the Awoshi side and enter the Achimota place.
Charlie, I'm not happy.
Yeah, because since you are not happy, let me ask you why you are not.
So, good morning to all our listeners. You do recall that a number of years ago, we brought you news of an attempt to carve out portions of the Achimota forest and turn it into the new concrete jungle of Accra. And many of you will recall the likes of former President J.J. Rawlings, who was at Achimota at some point in his life, of blessed memory, what things he said about Achimota forest, going there to study and sometimes do other things in that sacred forest. And then also his insistence that places like that have got to be preserved because essentially they serve as the lungs of the city of Accra, which is now having in excess of 4 million or 5 million people within it. Because there is no big forest of that size within the national capital. That is what helps all of us as citizens of this nation living in Accra to be able to breathe. And the world over, pressure is mounting on central governments to preserve, spaces like that because they help reduce global warming. They keep our environment green. People are able to live healthier lives because all the toxic things we release into the atmosphere from industries, from our cars, domestic use and all of that. The trees in that forest, together with those others we have around the national capital and beyond, help us to actually absorb, some of the problem. The rest, of course, will go into damaging the air and that we breathe, and then also create problems for the ozone layer and related issues. So if you check, repeatedly we are told on the international level that the air quality in Accra is devastating. It's creating problems. People are getting sick as a result. You go to the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, repeatedly the doctors are complaining about people suffering from all kinds of lung-related thoracic issues, which is either killing people or crippling them in many ways. Not too long ago, we had in the city of Accra the biggest electronic dam site, which also contributed massively to crippling the air quality that we have in the national capital. One of the reasons people see me often in nose masks, because the air quality in Accra is terrible. So the only protection, to a large extent, we have in terms of helping to purify the air, the environment, to a large extent, is the Achimota forest.
The lungs of the capital.
Exactly. But for some reason, greed will not allow the political class to take their eyes off that particular stretch of land. It is as if any time people drive by it, they see people going in there to do their church service, they see, oh, this thing can occupy 20
some high-rise
buildings, and they are seeing dollar signs. So, and I'm saying this without disrespecting the Wu family, because we are told that this thing is being done because of pressure or insistence by the Wu family, who are supposed to be the original owners of parts of the land or of the entirety of the land, that they want the land returned to them. Now, the property in question was compulsorily acquired by the government. The likes of Occupy Ghana, the likes of the engineers of this particular country, members of parliament, citizens have repeatedly said that there is no justification at this point, even if the government does not intend to put the site to good use or to develop it in a way as to serve a true purpose for the people of Ghana. Its existence alone presently serves a good purpose, which is helping us to breathe properly in the national capital. So absolutely no justification should be advanced in support of a quest to reclassify portions of it for purposes of developing them into high-rise buildings, private homes for politicians and related cronies, churches who we hear are also, falling over each other to get large portions of the property we're talking about. So it was mooted that they wanted to reclassify the place. And then we heard that, pressure came in. As they were talking about it, the news came in that Sir John, of blessed memory, who previously was the head of the Forestry Commission, had actually, allegedly, apportioned portions of that very property to some persons within his will. That's a matter which is still sub judice, being discussed at the court. But the central issue which came to public attention was that some parts of the Achimota forest formed part of the so-called estate of the departed Sir John, and that it had become a matter of serious conversation on our airwaves. We discussed it extensively. The government told us that they were going to initiate investigations. A matter was sent to the OSP, who initiated quickly efforts in the courts to have those affected, facilities and parts of the forest affected frozen in the interest of the good people of Ghana. Somehow, the judge who sat on the matter took the view that, look, as of the time that Sir John was alive, there was no lawful action against him regarding the issues raised concerning the Achimota forest and related lands, including the Ramsar side. There were also claims to that effect, and therefore he was not minded to make an order stalling further efforts regarding the landed properties we're talking about. The OSP told us that they intended to appeal the decision. Before coming on air, we've not been able to establish what the state of that matter is personally, but we do know that in a different development or in a related development, some people related to the late former General Secretary of the MPP are litigating.
Commission boss as well.
Yeah, no, they are litigating. Yes, yeah. Okay. So they are litigating. They are contesting validity of the will and related issues. If my memory serves me correctly. So we got to that point, and then the government said they were going to investigate, and then demands were made, and then promises were made. Just last week, we had information that some officials close to the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources went to the Achimota forest area to carry out what appears to be physical reclassification, cutting portions, plotting and doing all kinds of things, with the intention to, as we learn, return portions of the forest to its original owners. And we are hearing that when that is done, then the family will now have the authority to alienate the property or the landed property in question to people that it thinks they should have. What we're hearing is that churches are involved, big churches in this country, big politicians in this country, big businesses are involved, and the idea is to take a huge portion of this sprawling piece of land, which helps all of us to breathe in this national capital, and then share it in a way that the family would deem fit, of course, to the detriment of all of us. My respectful view is that this is bad for the national capital. It is against everything that the Constitution speaks about, because in any case, the likes of Occupy Ghana have told us in this country that the regime, the legal regime talking about when you can't use the property, you should return it to its original owners, does not even apply to the current issues surrounding the Achimota forest, because this was something that was even quite long before our national constitution came into effect. You understand? So they have stated publicly their position on the matter. The engineers and planners, they have also spoken on this matter. Now let me take you to those two pieces of
legislation. The EI.
So there's an EI which caused the reclassification.
Declassifying the Achimota forest. And I've seen the Institute of Planners say that it's not in conformity with Land Use Act. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, that's right. So let me take you to that. And then I'll also read for you a recent statement issued on this particular matter before we make progress.
So I have the Institute of Planners point here.
Good.
So I could take you through that. This was done in May 30, 2022. And it says the Ghana Institute of Planners has expressed its displeasure about government's decision to declassify the Achimota forest in the Greater Accra region. According to the institute, the process to change the use of the 361.50 acres of Achimota forest is inconsistent with the Land Use and Spatial Planning Act 2016. The institute is of the view that families and individuals have the right to own lands, but the use of such lands is determined by an approval zoning scheme, section 87 clause 1 under Act 925 by the District Assembly. The institute, in a statement released on Friday, May 27, 2022, says as a professional body, it is drawing the attention of the government to the non-negotiable ecological importance of the Achimota forest. In their statement, they say the Ghana Institute of Planners is an internationally recognized body of professional planners in Ghana. as the lead institution for promoting high standards of professional planning practice and advocacy in Ghana, and in line with its planning activism, the Institute advocates for the protection and preservation of the natural environment. In the interest of the public and the ethics of the planning profession, the GIP hereby states its position on the EI 144, which declassifies 361.50 acres of the Achimota forest as non-forest reserve effective May 1, 2022. Evidently, the Gold Coast colonial government compulsorily acquired the total area of land known as the Achimota lands. The certificates of title dated 16 December 1921 and 17 May 1927 under the Public Lands Ordinance of 1876 for the establishment of the Prince of Wales College, now Achimota School. Now, a portion of the land constituted a forest reserve to provide, among others, a buffer between the college and the city of Accra, and to provide cheap fuel wood, an important resource at the time for the college. The forest reserve mentioned above is what currently is known as the Achimota Reserve, a much larger expanse than what is available at present. Now, a certificate of title number is here, indicates the Owu family and the government of Ghana reached an agreement that led to the payment of £4,000 to the family as compensation. However, on May 17, 2022, a press release signed by the Lands and Natural Resources Minister claimed there are no records of payment of compensation for the 1924 acquisition. Also, the statement asserted that following encroachment on the Achimota Forest Reserve, the Owu family, identified as the original owners of the land, petitioned government for the release of portions of the forest reserve specified in EI 144. This led to the publication of the two instruments, the Forest Cessation, that is the Cessation of Forest Reserve Instrument 2022 EI 144, and the Forest Achimota Firewood Plantation Forest Reserve Amendment, that's Instrument 2022 EI 154. Quote, conspicuously, GIP expresses, unquote, conspicuously, GIP expresses grave concern over the publication of a gazette for the forest. Cessation of Forest Reserve Instrument 2022 EI 144, leading to a loss of 361.50 acres of the over 100-year-old Achimota Forest Reserve in Accra. So this is the GIP statement. It goes on and on to justify why they are against it. But the important thing is, which is what I wanted to ask you at some point, was whether or not the government paid compensation to the new Owu family when it compulsorily acquired the parcel of land. Because in the EI, we see now that the government says that both side A, B, C, and D has been belongs to the new Owu family. You see, as it has declassified the forest.
You see, it is almost always assumed with our contest that official acts are regularly performed, unless you have evidence to prove the contrary.
Right.
I don't want to question the motives of government surrounding this particular matter, but you have read from people who know the space truly well details pointing out the fact that compensation was paid. Now, I do not believe in injustice. If someone's property is taken over compulsorily by the state for purposes of putting it to public use, our laws have always insisted that compensation be paid. On the facts, as you read them, and if the facts are to be believed from people who know the space better, is that £4,000 of 19 Kojohoho was paid by the colonial administration to the family. Now, unless there is some evidence to the contrary that the said money was not paid, I do not see any justification why the insistence keeps coming back that the people belonging to that family deserve to be returned the property in issue. Because it is government's duty to look for the records. The planners will not put it there if it is not part of the documents covering the said space. They know it. That's why they put it there. And if they are to be believed, then government should be telling us something wiser. The suggestion that compensation has not been paid, and therefore we should return the parcel of land to them in question. I mean, it raises all kinds of issues, because those records, if they do exist, and the contention is that they exist, would be in the records of government. And so government should make the effort to find those records. And it doesn't seem to me as though there is a genuine reason why we should reclassify. The only reason it does seem they are reclassifying is to ensure that people who are interested in making that part of the capital city the new concrete jungle get their share, paying whatever they may pay as compensation for getting a portion of it. But we should reject that as citizens of this country, because, as I said, Accra has ballooned in a truly big way. We have done under this administration so much damage to the environment using our greed and appetite for galamsey gold. Large portions of our land's forest reserves have been desecrated, destroyed beyond recovery for so many years. Half-hearted attempts were made by the government to save the situation. But we got to know that people close to the administration, for some reason, played their own part in how these things came to be. Sometimes justified, other times unjustified, some would argue. But the fact is, we have destroyed the forest cover of this country. Previous governments also made incursions into forest reserves, allowing people to go and explore for all kinds of natural resources. This government has also signed agreements to that effect concerning bauxite and other natural minerals. So the forest reserves of this country are under siege by both the state and citizens of the republic, including chiefs and opinion leaders. And the only grail left for us in the national capital, anytime they drive past, the Achimota forest, they are seeing dollar signs. Anytime people drive past, so it is like a huge tract of land sitting there. We think that it is not of any use. So the only thing we can think of, let's cut it out
and build
something there. I mean, go to the children's park. It is in a horrifying state. You cannot put it to any useful use, because we don't have parks in this country. The trees we have, people get up and cut them anyhow. Previously, if you were going from the 37 military hospital towards Burma Camp, you saw massive, tree cover there. We removed them. General Rawlings cried about it, but we did nothing about it. So the only way we could breathe properly came down to what? The Achimota forest. And some way, somehow, I remember the Mahama administration said that they wanted to do some eco park, something there.
Yeah.
We resisted it. Now we have seen the grandfather of initiatives like that, which is, let's hide behind the talk of returning it to the old family, and then let the family decide how it is put to use. I think we should reject that. It is not in our interest. We do not even think it is in the interest of the old family. In this case, we have been told, unless government has any record to the contrary, that the family has been paid compensation. They cannot now, with the greatest respect, be coming back to tell us that compensation has not been paid and therefore we should return the land to them.
This issue came up 2 years ago, and I frankly thought that we had resolved it. And so now the latest is, from what we are learning, that some surveyors and professionals went there to map out the place. Are we sure that is for some concrete jungle? They're not probably just doing monitoring and counting the wildlife or something that is there. We'll come back to this one. But that's concerning, because 2 years ago the issue died. We are now seeing the trees, everything is going on, but it looks like some efforts are being made again.
Because in 2023, the ministry caused a new EI to be published, right? They amended the existing legislation and brought into effect the Forest Cessation of Forest Reserve Amendment Instrument 2023. Cessation of Forest Reserved Amendment Instrument 2023. This signed by the Minister for the Sector, Abdullahi Jinapo. He signed this particular document, Honorable Samuel Abdullahi Jinapo. It's an 11-page document. We can make the details available online.
We'll look at it.
Basically capturing the areas that they are seeking to... Now, what we are demanding is that this particular piece of legislation be revoked. And you can trust me. If they do not revoke it, I think lawful action has got to be taken to stop it from
That's
coming.
a very important point. We'll get back to that very shortly. We'll bring you tech and social media. Want to know what people are saying online? Tech and social media trends is brought to you by First Bank Ghana and also Telecel. The biggest dreams start small. So this long vacation, enroll your children or what's on the First Bank Ghana Junior Internship Program from July 15 to September 15. They will gain work experience. So for your kids who are 12 and below, Kids First account is what you open for them. For those who are between 13 to 17, open the Me First account, deposit 300 cedis, and then they are ready for this particular exciting one, 5 days exciting internship at any of the branches, and then they get to compete in an essay writing competition. Top 3 will be adjudged. To find out more and awarded. So find out more at First Bank Ghana Junior Internship Program. Call 0596 921 921 or email firstsolutions@firstbankgroup.com. First Bank Ghana, you first. And if you're ready to be the next millionaire in town, Telecel More Money promo is getting exciting. This is what you should do. We've had 2 lucky winners. They've been rewarded 30,000 Ghana cedis each already. 1 million grand prize is up for grabs, and it could be you. Simply reload your mobile using your Telecel cash wallet and be part of the daily and weekly draw, where you could win up to 30,000 cedis every week. Purchase data or airtime using your Telecel cash wallet and double your chances. If you make payment on your fixed broadband, you also get a chance to be the next millionaire. Reload and stand a better chance of winning. Telecel More Money promo. To opt in for free, dial star 500 hash or send win to 500. Visit the Telecel Play app. It's a promo regulated by the NLA on its Caritas Lottery platform. T's and C's apply. Telecel, connecting energies. And Nathan Kwao brings us tech and socials. Nathan, good morning again.
Hi, good morning.
So what's engaging the attention of netizens?
Several things from sports to popular culture to politics. Anyway, so let's start off on the sporting note. Preseason friendlies dominating the conversations there. So names like Harry Amas, Nkuku, Madueke, Chelsea, Club America, all of them dominating the thoughts because there were some pre-season games involving some Premier League teams and some clubs. So Chelsea fans especially are talking about their new look under their new manager. While Manchester United beat Real Betis by 3-2. Staying with the sporting trend, South Sudan and Curry and LeBron are trending, all of them because of the USA's victory over South Sudan yesterday in the Olympic Games men's basketball game. Now, before the Olympic Games, South Sudan and the United States met in a warm-up game. The United States won by 1 point, and people were very impressed with the South Sudanese team. Well, when the actual games showed up, or when the actual match or the competitive game showed up, the United States proved too hot for South Sudan. They won the game 106 to about 86 or 87. They won by a 17-point gap. I'm trying to remember the points difference, but United States won by 17. So people are talking about that. Steph Curry didn't play too well. He had only 3 points there, but people are talking about that. To other matters, Gaza is trending, of course. Iran also trending. You mentioned the story earlier from the newspaper review, so that is also trending there. And then the name Elikem is also trending. Yesterday, that name together with Kojo Sheldon and Paradise caught fire, especially on X. Now, what is the context? Now, Elikem, from when you piece the narrative together, Elikem, per what I'm reading, works with Kojo Sheldon. Now, he was introduced to Kojo Sheldon by a gentleman named Paradise.
But it looks like Paradise no longer works with Kojo Sheldon, and it is Elikem who is in his position now.
Okay.
So people are speculating a lot about maybe Elikem came and kicked him out, or some bad blood. I don't know. So, but that was
okay.
Dominating in terms
Tech
of
news?
the trends. To some tech news, very quickly, and you have Instagram. I was going to do Tesla, but let me do this Instagram story. Now, some Instagram posters got a shocking notification from the app yesterday that certain photos had been permanently deleted from the App Story archives and they could not be recovered. Now, due to a technical issue, this story is no longer available. That's the quote you would get from Instagram. And Meta, which owns Instagram, declined to share how many users were affected, but said only the people whose stories were lost would see the notice. Meta said the black screen showing the error message would be gone by July 2025. Now, Instagram stories are a more casual, less committing form of posting, and users can upload photos, videos, or text posts that disappear in 24 hours. So I don't know if anybody has experienced that. If you have, let us know. But that is the story, at least from Instagram users in New York.
Okay. That was tech and social media trends.
Going up? Yes, after you. No, you first. No, please, I insist. You first. I wouldn't dare, my friend. You first. Beauty before brains, my friend. You first. The honor would be mine. You first.
Oh, my word. And I hear they were there the whole day. Our employees take our You First philosophy to a whole new level. Get used to a bank that believes in putting you first. FBN Bank is now First Bank Ghana. First Bank Ghana. You first.
Kind of way, tell you the more money promo now.
Everybody likes money, but what do we like more than money? More money! Join the Telecel More Money promo and win money, more money, and even more money. Simply opt in for free and reload your mobile and broadband and be the lucky winner of the 1 million Ghana cedis grand prize. Also win cash prizes of up to 3 million Ghana cedis in the daily and weekly draw. Opt in for free by dialing *500# or send
the least showers, we have flooding, we have heat issues, we are experiencing the climate change really. Is this the best time to, there's not a better time, but is actually deforesting the Achimota forest the best thing to be doing now? When we are spending millions to plant trees that we are struggling to account for, is this the time to destroy the trees that we have? It's a big conversation we are having here. Join us 0549986996. Some of you are asking if we can engage in some citizen action to protest this move. Yes, there's a lot that can be done. 0549986996. Join this conversation. In the meantime, a few important announcements. VW Ghana is excited to announce its 40K promo campaign. For every T-Cross subcompact cross SUV purchase, you save 40,000 Ghana cedis. For every Amarok pickup purchase, you save 40,000 Ghana cedis. So take advantage. Drive Ghana, drive Volkswagen. T's and C's apply. For more information about our range of models, Vetters, T-Cross, T1, Allspace, Terramont, and the Amarok pickup, call or WhatsApp VW Ghana on 02579566688.
They said two wrongs don't make it right. So if I'm wrong,
To Awula Sewa, she is Eco-Conscious Citizens founder and coordinator. Awula Sewa of Eco-Conscious Citizens. She is the founder and coordinator. Good morning, Sewa. If you can hear me, thank you for making time with us on the Citi Breakfast Show.
Good morning, and thank you very much for having me.
Is what we are hearing about the Achimota forest true? What do you know about the Achimota forest?
Well, what we all know is that 2 years ago, an executive instrument, EI 144, was passed by Cabinet. And what that has done is to pave the way for what is going on, because EI 144 declassified portions of Achimota forest so that they ceased to be part of the forest reserve. And organizations like ourselves and also the Ghana Institute of Planners, the Ghana Institute of Foresters, they all kicked against it. So many organizations said this is a bad law, it should be repealed. We cannot reduce portions of our forest. At a time when there's climate change, at a time when illegal mining has destroyed so much of our forest, why would we want to remove or declassify Achimota forest, which is the last remaining forest reserve in Accra, the last remaining forest reserve in Accra. So for heaven's sake, what we need to do is to preserve what we have and have more forests, especially as we've lost so much of our forest cover. We don't need to be removing parts of the forest from the forest reserve so that we can increase the concrete jungle.
I do think that a lot of citizens do identify with your concerns and your advocacy. Is there a way you are mobilizing people? What is your approach to this conversation? How are you pushing your intentions?
Well, we had a press conference a while back where we talked about any administration that wants to come to power should take the environment seriously and repeal EI 144 and also LI 2462, which was passed by Parliament and allows for mining and logging in forest reserves, including globally significant biodiversity areas. We talked about the removal of illegal structures from our wetlands. And in fact, we have a press conference on the estuary of the Peishi Lagoon on 7th August to draw attention to the havoc we are causing by allowing illegal structures on the wetland. So we are doing a lot of advocacy and we're raising awareness. Elections are coming in December. It's for the electorate to see who they are going to vote for. If they want to vote for any administration that is destroying our environment, so be it. What we can do is to advocate and raise awareness about the clear and present danger we face right now so that the electorate are aware of what is going on. So we will just continue campaigning and advocating because Ghanaians have to realize that we face a clear and present danger. We are being poisoned by illegal mining. Our landscape is being poisoned. Our forest reserves are being destroyed. Our president put his presidency on the line 5 years ago, And what has been the result? Things are far, far worse than before. And it seems like we have no regard for the environment and we just play gimmicks. We do Green Ghana with one hand. And with the other hand, we close our eyes to illegal mining. And we are actively declassifying acres of land from Achimota forest. For what? For what? The electorate has to kick against it because we came and met the forest reserve. If those who came before us had been so greedy and had destroyed the forest reserve, we wouldn't have any. So I'm calling on the youth. Our generation will soon go. They are the future. They're going to sit idly by and allow their, their lungs to be cut off by greedy people. That is their prerogative.
I see that in your press statement, which you released on July 17 this year, you make a demand that you want the government to set up a public inquiry into how parks and gardens lands across Ghana have fallen into private hands, including those purported to have been leased by the Lands Commission and are not being used for horticultural purposes. Beyond the Achimota forest, do you find that there is a trend where across the country public parks and forest reserves, green belts are being sold into private hands? And how are you mobilizing people to do this? Is there any petition people are signing? I know too many questions is one, but let's take it one.
No. You hit the nail on the head because eco-conscious citizens is about a clean, green, healthy, and serene environment. That's why we also campaign against noise pollution that is dropping out of our peace. But yes, we are for the protection of our green spaces. But it seems like when we see a green space, the only thing that comes to our mind are apartment blocks. We have no understanding of the sustainable development goals. We just sign up to them maybe for funding. So we look at parks and gardens. Our first president, Kwame Nkrumah, had the foresight to form the Department of Parks and Gardens. The colonial administration way back in 1927 or 21, forgive me for muddling my dates, acquired compulsory lands as parks and gardens. At that time, or shall I say for horticultural nursery. At that time, there was no Department of Parks and Gardens. So it went to the Ministry of Agriculture. And these lands were for horticultural purposes. That's the purpose for which they were acquired. When our visionary first president came, he formed, first of all, the department and then the Ministry of Parks and Gardens under Cabinet Minister Okansi. And what he did is that those lands were then allocated to the Department of Parks and Gardens. So it's just astonishing that any people, if our Lands Commission has questions to answer, because we are calling for an audit of all Parks and Gardens land. We find the Parks and Gardens land in Accra. At first, in 2019, there was a bid to build a multi-story office building, which was resisted and stopped. Tried again this year, trying to put up estate block. I think Danny Ike Estates tried to appropriate the land. That has also been actively resisted. And as we speak right now, it seems the portion that is left seems to be secure. But in Wa, a petrol station is being built on Parks and Gardens land. We all know about deforestation. So who would go and build a petrol station on land acquired for horticultural purposes, not for commercial purposes? So we need to have an audit, and all Parks and Gardens lands that have been built on, those structures should be removed immediately. Those structures should be removed immediately. You know, we just pay lip service. We go about Green Ghana.
Okay, so now the EI was not passed by Parliament. It was issued by the President.
Yes, EI 144 was issued by Cabinet. It's an executive instrument. And we are asking Cabinet to rescind it. But LI 2462, which allows for mining in forest reserves, is a legislative instrument which was passed by Parliament. It was brought forward by, I believe, at that time, the Ministry of Environment, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a legislative instrument, so it was passed by Parliament. That is LI 2462, which allows mining and even logging in our forest reserves. So again, Parliament passed it. I'm not sure it was well scrutinized. So we are asking for both EI 144, which declassify parts of Achimota Forest, which is an executive instrument passed by Cabinet, We're also asking for LI 2462, which was passed by Parliament, to also be withdrawn because those two pieces of legislation are not in the interest of Ghana or Ghanaians. We're thinking of private persons who are going to make money at the expense of Ghanaians. Our forests are our lungs. For heaven's sake, our forests are our lungs. And no person in their right might cut off their lungs. Why would you do that? It's only when your lungs are diseased that maybe one will have to be removed and you might want a transplant. But you do not remove healthy lungs. Who does that?
We've seen that according to some of the documents we've read from the Ghana Institute of Planners, they say that the Owu royal family were compensated as far back as the 19th, in the 90s, the 19th century, with some £4,000. We are hearing also that the family says that they've not been compensated. With these vexed issues, how do the conscious citizens for the environment think that we can go about these?
You see, these are red herrings. The Owu family was compensated. They received £4,000 way back. But even if they hadn't been compensated, why would you then not give them monetary compensation? Because the lands you are removing for the forest reserve, it's not as if the Owu family is saying they are sacred lands, we are going to preserve them. You are going to build on them. So what it is a commercial concern. It's about money. And so it's a red herring. It's a complete red herring. We are hiding behind the old family to convert Achimota Forest prime land and develop them. If really it was about the old family not being compensated, which they were compensated. The receipts have been found, they were compensated. Then what you do is give them some financial compensation. But you will not remove our forest reserves, our lands, which the colonial administration, with all their faults, they had the good sense to have forest reserves for posterity, knowing the value of forest. And then we call ourselves educated. And then all we want to do is to change, to convert protected forest reserves into development. There's an increase in lung disease. We can see all the development, the pollution. A class 1 child knows that the trees absorb pollutants.
Right.
Apart from that, they act as a defense to flooding. We all have they are habitats for plants and animal species. When you go and destroy the forest reserve, you are disturbing the whole ecology.
Right.
And that is why the Institute of Planners said it is not negotiable. Not 1 inch of Achimota Forest should be declassified. We've already developed on a lot of portions of Achimota Forest in the past. Why are we doing what we are doing?
Thank you.
Grabbing every prime land we can see. This is not on, and this should be resisted by all right-thinking Ghanaians.
Well said. Awola Sewa, thank you so much for talking to us. She is the Eco-Conscious Citizens founder and coordinator. So that was a very interesting perspective shared there. Would delve more into this. Some of your messages have come. We'll be sharing them with you. But Nathan has some important announcements. We'll intersperse all of that together for you.
Yes, Twisco is here. Is the newest beverage out there, and it's coming from the producers of Cowbell. It's a chocolate fruit drink with a blend of premium cocoa powder and enriched with Enafort. So you need to start your day with a cup of the great tasting Twisco and power your dream. If you are dreaming of going to Dubai, make it a reality with Global Wings Travel and Tours. They have a 6-day run from the 5th to the 11th of August, or if you want to go in September, from the 15th to the 21st of September. Call or send them a WhatsApp message on 0550-188-181 and find out a lot more. Your living room deserves class, warmth, and memory for your family and friends who visit your home. That's why Ashfoam produces a master class range of sofas and couches to fit in every corner in every single space. If you want more, call them on 0243 200 729 or go to any of their shops in the malls or their main factories and be an ash foamer now. And if you want a British degree at a fraction of the cost, Lancaster University is your number one choice. They have up to a 50% scholarship for your degree, and you'll be taught by the finest faculty trained to UK standards at their campus. Call them on 020-960-7008 or visit lancaster.edu.gh to find out more. Lancaster University is the only British university campus in West Africa.
Nice one. Now, where are you headed? I can see you're going to the shopping mall. Some of you too are buying fuel for your car. Are you enjoying your favorite meal at your restaurant or getting home essentials at your favorite shop? Or you're shopping online for the things you need? Wherever you go, whatever you're doing, do it with the SG Visa card. The SG Visa card is your best option to make payments for goods and services online or anywhere with a point of sale machine. Enjoy a world of amazing opportunities available with the SG Visa card. Go about your business anywhere in Ghana and with comfort and security of your money available to you always. Make your life easy and use your SG Ghana Visa card today. To find out more, call 0302-214-314. SG Ghana, the future is you. Now, every time we eat, food and sugars are trapped between our teeth, leading to tooth decay, gum disease, and in some cases, foul breath. So do all to brush your teeth every morning and at night before you sleep. Do that with Pepsodent Cavity Fighter. It gives your teeth the protection they need, leaving you with 10 times stronger teeth. Pepsodent Cavity Fighter, maximum cavity protection, 10 times stronger teeth. We've been educating Ghanaians to brush their teeth for the past 24 years, day and night. We're recommended by the Ghana Dental Association. So get Pepsodent at any shop near you or call your customer care center toll free on 0800 2030. Always remember, brush your teeth in the morning and before you sleep at night. Pepsodent, every smile matters. We'll come to your messages. But Godfred, this is where we've gotten to. I actually thought we'd won the battle on the Achimota forest and we could all go to rest, enjoying the breeze we get anytime we drive past Achimota. And we've been talking about resilience of our city. We've been pumping a lot of money trying to desilt our drains so that they don't get choked. But the green cover that we have in our city that actually also helps fight or mitigate the flooding incidents. That one too, it looks like we are back to a capitalist mentality where people want to take over and destroy the greenery, really.
Okay, look, I don't even know where to start from with this, but I'll start from the Lands Commission. I have concerns about the Lands Commission before I expand.
Lands Commission.
Yes.
Okay.
If we don't sanitize the Lands Commission, this won't end, to start with. I think the minister was in Parliament recently, appearing before the Public Accounts Committee.
No, the Government Assurance.
The Government Assurances Committee. He says he's asked for documents of some lands because they asked him about some borders, and he's like, yeah, they don't have documentation for it and all those things. And there are some elements in the Lands Commission who are responsible for these things because they alert people, which is Sky, there's some unclaimed land dating from 1892. There's this, there is that. So if you do this, we will do that. That is where it starts from. So we need to fix the Lands Commission. That is a matter that everybody has spoken about. My second disappointment lies with the minister. Somebody will say it's a much larger discussion, and I will make it a much larger discussion, but bear with me on this. When he took over, the ministry that he presides over is a very important one. He had Galamsey to deal with. He still has Galamsey to deal with. He had significant environmental degradation to deal with. He had significant deforestation levels to deal with. They started this Green Ghana that I will just even mention that we've had so many questions about. We plant trees, we don't see the trees anywhere, all those things. My thoughts when he became minister were that perhaps he had a bit more concern for the environment than
those who had come before him. The way he spoke, the way he went about
there was energy and enthusiasm in this.
Because you see, the thing is this: for a position like that, largely globally, it is becoming a role where activists serve. It is not a role for just a politician. You can't play politics with the environment. So in a lot of places, in a lot of countries where the environment has become a big agenda, and the truth is this, globally, top 4 issues now, environment is key. That is why we are attending all the conferences.
Yeah.
And he attends every single environmental conference. He doesn't miss one. He was at COP. The last COP he was there.
Yeah,
COP. He was in China attending something on mining. Yeah. He signs everything there is to sign. But then you come home, our water bodies are dying. The Galamsey, he's given up on the ask of the Galamsey. He has raised his arms and said, hey, Galamsey away, people Galamsey away, do whatever you want. Water is being rationed all over the place. Then there is this as well. I expect more. At least put up a fight. Don't be an enabler. He hasn't put up a fight.
Yeah.
Where is Jirapo's fight in this? The fight has come from people like Aula.
Yeah.
We've heard from the planners. Yeah. We heard from the foresters. And it's interesting that on this matter, most of the professional bodies that we have heard from have all said, don't do this.
Yeah.
Some way, somehow, the experts are not heard on this matter.
Yeah.
I am yet to see somebody, well, maybe they also have their documents on that side. But I want to see the planner who comes out and tells us that, or the forester who comes out and tells us that this is a good idea. Because the Ghana Institute of Planners wrote a long essay 2 years ago when they told you that this shouldn't happen, and they gave reasons. That same around the same time, the Ghana Institute of Foresters wrote a long statement outlining 9 reasons, 9 technical reasons why this should not happen. So why are we here today when the people in whose expertise we put the development of our urban spaces tell us that, okay, this is not a really good idea, but we say, forget you. We've got it covered. So whose advice are you taking? So it leaves us wondering, like, what exactly, whose interest are you serving? Is it the public interest in this? And it's become commonplace that when it comes to these things, the public interest never wins. The public interest never wins. It is private investor interest. Yeah. It is political interest. Yeah. It is crony interest. It is nepotistic interest that wins when it comes to these things. So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking the land is gone.
It's gone, eh?
Oh, come on.
No, but we have to fight this.
The thing is this. We have not gotten to the point where the environment means that much to majority of Ghanaians. I think people still don't understand. See that point Sky made about, oh, you drive past the forest and you see it and you're like, well, if I put up some apartment here, that's how people read.
Like,
yeah. Or if I see some shopping mall here, or if my church were located here,
nice 30,000 seat auditorium.
Yeah. That's how we look at empty space. That's how we look at green spaces in Ghana.
Sad.
We see it purely in commercial terms, in terms of, oh, if we do this, we can raise rent from it. It will create jobs. Okay, so people tend to make the developmental argument for it. But who said development means that only dollar bills?
Yeah.
Who said development equals only CD bills?
Yeah.
Having that space there is also development. It actually counts as development because it serves a purpose, larger public good.
Yeah.
It's the reason why we are not all in face masks like Richard Sky. Okay, it serves as a buffer for a lot of things. Biodiversity. Already, we've allowed people in there who are disturbing all the animals. They're capering away every single night. You let the animals sleep in peace. Then we are told, oh, it's just the periphery. Look, every time we are told these things, I, for one, have never trusted these things, because when they say periphery, Charlie, it's like when we were in secondary school. Our Sewa housemaster at the time, I forget his name, would tell you when he punishes you, he says, weed this small portion. And the small portion goes like this, they weed this small portion.
It's just like a pointed thing.
Yes, then it opens. So when you tell us that you are developing the periphery, what plan does it fit into? What plan does it fit into? What is the large city plan for Accra that this particular development is going to fit into? Because obviously the planners have told you don't do it. So which plan? The planners have told you don't touch it. But he said there's a master plan as part of this whole rezoning that is done. There's apparently a master plan that has to be approved by the minister. Whoever wants to deal with every development there, you go, oh, you want to do this. Are the churches part of the master plan? Because we do know that churches have taken some of their land. We do know that apartment blocks have been taken up. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, look, this is gone. We will bear the brunt of it later. Somebody will count his money. Somebody will get his fancy church auditorium. Somebody will get his fleet of apartments. But the people who live around that side, think about your colleagues who lived around the NTHC side, who had never seen flooding for a very long time, until some sensible human being decided to start selling off buffer lands around that part of town. Suddenly, when it rains, guess where? Who gets flooded? Those rich people.
Yeah.
So you can be there. Allow them to sell it. 4 or 5 years, when they are done, it will rain. It will come. We did the same thing with the mountains. We turned it into something else. Now, when it rains,
the whole place gets flooded.
Somebody is suffering. So let's not. When you go and ask the question, they'll tell you, oh, there's a master plan for the mountain. There was a plan. Oh, we will build it like this. You can build here. You can't build there. Are the people down the hill not struggling?
They are.
Massively.
They are affected.
Every time we enter the rainy season, those people are dying. So we should continue. You see, I'm here. I'm waiting for it. Because the lands are gone. Like I said, we are not getting it back. Why?
We'll get it back.
No, Richard Sky. I'm not a believer in getting. We are not going to get it back.
We'll get it back.
Because do you know why? Do you know why? I'm being very pessimistic about it. It's too valuable for people. It's like Alam say. It's too valuable.
Yeah, but that is why we have to resist it. The value I understand your point.
Yes, they won't give it back.
No, we have to.
They won't give it back.
No. You see, we have to. And if it requires court action, we will do it. If it requires mass mobilization, we have got to do it. Because it should never, look, the Constitution of Ghana grants the president the authority to supervise and protect all our lands and hold it in trust for all of us. That authority should not grant a minister, and by extension the president, the magic one to say, as for this place, I'm releasing and that should be it. I think that regime, you have got to look at it carefully. Because if you look at the EI, that amended the 114. Godfrey, just a minute.
Yes, go on.
So it is EI 234, which was published in 2023, that is giving effect to this obnoxious, truly illogical decision to reclassify portions of the Achimota forest. And let me just give you just quick highlights of what we're talking about. Now, it amended EI 144. Now, this instrument, as we do know, amends the Forest Cessation of Forest Reserve Instrument of 2022. And it goes on to, give you some schedule. Now, the parcels of land affected, 260.06 acres of land. 206.06 acres. And that converts to 105.25 hectares.
You see the size of land we're talking about.
Yeah.
So this is huge.
It's a vast land.
Sky, we'll get back to that point. I'll let you develop that point, and Godfred Nathan, I'll come to you. Yes, Daryl Boso is on the line from Arocha, Ghana. We'll pick his thoughts very quickly. Deputy National Director for Arocha, Ghana. Daryl, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, my brother. I trust you are well.
We are doing good too, and hoping you are fine. I thought we had won the war on this Achimota forest conversation until we are learning that there are efforts again, renewed ones at that, to get back into the Achimota forest. What do you know about this new development, and what are your concerns?
Yes, thank you very much. So I think, yes, maybe citizens were thinking that with all the outcry against plans to convert portions of Achimota forest, the government will listen. And even I remember somewhere last year, the Honorable Minister talked about they're going to reflect and see what they can do. But apparently that was not an assurance that we could rely on. So as we know from now, within the past couple of weeks or so, if not more, they have actively been on the field within the forest reserve, demarcating the areas that have been rezoned for the various beneficiaries. And this we have from, reliable sources. As far as I'm concerned, I'm told that they have even concluded the demarcation and waiting for the beneficiaries to move in there and do whatever they can to claim the portions of the forest that has been given to them, which is quite unfortunate. I think it is very sad to see that in a time when we are talking about air pollution in the city, talking about forest conservation, and also the potential loss of life as a result of air pollution in Accra, government doesn't give a hoot and is rather interested in appeasing some few individuals who possibly and made no request for anything. And that for us is very unfortunate. So it really tells you that the government really had no intention to reconsider the views of the citizens. They were bent on doing what they wanted to do. And that is how come we are seeing fresh activities by the Ministry of Land to give effect to EI 234.
Is it too late to reverse the developments that have gone on so far with all our advocacy and everything we have at our disposal?
You see, nothing is too late. Nobody has gone to the forest to clear any area as yet. At the moment, they are just making sure that they go to the field, they make sure that the areas that are demarcated for rezoning is clearly marked out on the ground so that the beneficiaries can take ownership. So it is never too late. It's an executive instrument. The same way the president came out with it, they can also repeal it and rescind the decision. So I think it's a matter of the government taking a bold stand that, look, I'm going to listen to the people. I'm going to consider the lives that are going to be saved because of an urban green forest like the Achimota forest, and then take the needed action. Now, let me tell you, my brother, data shows that if we lose Achimota forest, we are likely to lose about 207 lives as a result of air pollution. And this is considering the high air pollution indicators for the city of Accra, which is sometimes more than the World Health Organization's own estimation. So I think we really need to give a very serious consideration to this. Achimota forest is very, very vital. We cannot let it go just because we want to appease some political fanatics or some politically exposed persons close to the government. And I think it's very unfortunate that the minister should lead this process. Yesterday I saw him saying that he went to give assurances that he's put security in and out of the Achimota forest. Now, what I can say in this case is that the minister himself is the biggest risk to the forest. So if he really wants to do the right thing, he should make sure he reverses the action to convert portions of Achimota forest into other development interests.
Now, nationally, I'm seeing that as of 2022, 18,000 hectares of forest were lost in Ghana, which was 7.3 thousand hectares more compared to the previous year. We're seeing efforts every year where the government is trying to mobilize Ghanaians to plant trees and all. Given the pace at which our forest cover is being depleted and efforts now we are seeing to declassify the Achimota forest, if things continue this way, where are we going to be in the next 10 years?
Well, I think you said it right. I mean, Ghana is one of the countries indicated, according to research, to lose more forests. I mean, in the next decade, if we don't change what we've been going through right now, what we are doing. And I've always said that government's action, the Green Ghana agenda, as we talk about, has always been it's a big cover-up. I mean, because if you consider the so-called number of trees they have been reporting by themselves that we have planted, as against what has been lost in the areas that their negligence and unconcern and inaction has led to the destruction, you just can't match it. So for me, it's just a cover-up so that they can look good in the eyes of the people. But when you go to the ground, in our forest reserves, in the remote communities, and you see our rivers being depleted, our forest reserves being bulldozed down, and they don't give a hoot about all of that. So I think that we have so much to lose if we watch all concerned for what's happening. Ghana is losing our forest. And as I speak to you, not less than 13 or 14 forest reserves have been given out for mining concessions. So it really tells you that within the period of 2020 right up to now, there has been an accelerated action and with active involvement of the Ministry of Lands and also the Minister and the government to really see to the conversion of our forest reserves to other land uses, which is very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. And I don't see any commitment. And nobody should be fooled by government's Green Ghana agenda. If you consider the forest, the trees alone that are going to be lost in this area that is going to be rezoned, you can't match it to what we have planted. You know, you can't match it. So I think it's just deception, and there's no true commitment to whatever they've said so far.
Also, because I'm guessing some of the species we have in that forest will be rare. And then over the years, if you look at some literature, we have a lot of tree species that we've lost over the period because of deforestation. So if if the Achimota forest is cleared and we even try to reforest the whole of Accra, there are some specific species that are, unique to our space and environment that we would lose forever.
Yes, all forests have very particular species that are very unique. That means sometimes you find them all over the country. You might find the same mahogany species. If you go to the Philippines, you might find it. I have not really paid attention to the diversity of tree species in Achimota forest, but I can tell you that whole ecosystem, that's supporting bird life, also the trees, and also cleaning the environment in Accra, and also the water cycle it is facilitating in the process is so significant within the sprawling urban environment that we see for Accra that you cannot lose it. And so I agree with you. Other forests in the country are on record to have endemic tree species. That is true. And so I think that we have every reason to secure a lot of these because some of the beneficial services we are going to get from these trees are still yet to be discovered. And until we do that, there is no point why we should sit down and watch our forests be destroyed just so that a government can appease some politically exposed persons or some political fanatics close to them. And that is why I think that is... You see, as I was telling you, research is indicating that if we really secure Achimota forest, it is going to avert the loss of life of 207,000 Ghanaians because air pollution alone is a significant contributor to health rates in the city of Accra. So I don't see why just for a few people, government will want to pursue this agenda to declassify portions of Achimota forest. I think we can do better, and it's not only for us, but also for generations yet to come. So just imagine Accra without a forest at all. This place is going to be inhabitable in some years to come.
Darryl Bosso, we'll leave it here. Thank you so much for talking to us. Darryl Bosso is the Deputy Director for Arocha Ghana. If you go to the University of Ghana...
he mentioned a figure before you go into
207,000 lives.
Yeah. Lives.
Yeah.
Lives.
Yeah.
These are the lives that the President of the Republic swore when he was being sworn into office.
Correct.
To protect.
Correct.
and now also defend the Constitution and related laws.
Thank you.
So there cannot be any justification. There cannot be any justification for the efforts being made to take away portions of the Achimota forest land.
But the thing is, and again, my pessimism. When you read the
EI?
No, not the EI. The position of the Institute of Foresters on this matter. It's not just the Achimota forest they talk about. They are saying it should be the first. Because they are aware that there are infrastructure aspirations on the following. Dede Forest Reserve, Eastern Region. Kaba Forest Reserve, Volta.
Kaba.
Wa Town Plantation Forest. Tamale Water Works Forest Reserve. Tamale Fuel Wood Plantation Forest. Tamale GS Plantation Forest Reserve. Winneba Water Works Forest Reserve. This Guaco Forest in Pokwase, among others. It says Kumasi City once had the Kumasi Forest Reserve, but it has completely been whittled away for infrastructural development. Have you seen Kumasi? The once Garden City. Kumasi was called the once Garden. It was called the Garden City. Forget the flooding. Yeah. Why was it called the Garden City?
It was green, wasn't it?
Exactly. Have you been to Kumasi recently?
Actually.
The city that is called the Garden City. Have you seen it? Okay. So I say, look, normally when you have conversations with, and as Ghanaians, we should also ask ourselves this. When we have conversations about the environment, we don't really, when we consider our problems, apart from the filth, we don't really see things like deforestation, air quality as issues.
True.
So your regular Ghanaian will tell you, that's true. You understand? Or you understand? So people tend to think that these are sophisticated conversations, forgetting that the impact of these things. And look, like I said, I always think long term and outcomes. I lived in China for a very long time. When I went to China, air pollution was so bad that it got to a time where you could only move a vehicle. They put out this order where you could move your vehicle based on the alphabet of your number plate. So if my number plate is A, there's a
ancient of days.
You can't move A cars. There are days you can't move B cars. Because hold on, let me just wrap this up. I know you have to make a call. Let me just wrap this up quickly. Okay. So they realized they had created a problem. So what did they have to do? They now had to go back and start regrowing urban forest. Ended up planting like 35 billion trees in 12 provinces.
Wow.
To deal with their air pollution problem. We have one that is currently saving us.
But I want to spoil it.
We have one that is currently saving us, which is what Daryl just told you. But we want to whittle it away. They will tell you that they will leave some. But we want to whittle it away. You see, black man, as we see.
That's a sad one. Now, let's look about the air pollution part. We will zero in on air quality. I have on the line. Sky.
Let's make it clear that what they are doing is a deliberate, state-sponsored attempt to kill, as the record suggests, or the research suggests, in excess of 270,000 Ghanaians, just for the greed of a few who think that the only good thing that will happen to them while in office or out of office is to own an apartment block or to allow cronies to build up fancy auditorium for their churches. We don't hate churches. I'm a Christian.
Yes.
People spoke against the National Cathedral, right?
Yes.
For good reason.
Yes.
They must have all their reasons for speaking against it. It is the same way the church leaders who are so shamelessly a part of the campaign to cover portions of the land we are talking about, they have a duty to themselves. They have got to be honest with themselves and recuse themselves, remove themselves from this effort to undermine the quality of life we enjoy here in the national capital.
So Desmond Appiah is the country lead for Clean Air Fund. And we are talking about this because this is interlinked. Africa, Accra already is the 10th most polluted city according to the 2023 World Air Quality Report. And Desmond has a role to play in this. Desmond, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Already we have the Achimota forest, but when it comes to our air quality, we are the 10th most polluted in Africa. If we lose the Achimota forest, what's going to become of our air quality?
Thank you very much, Caleb. And this is a very vexing matter. Vexing on the basis that if you have or consistently have air quality more than 10 times above the WHO standard, and some of the things that you have to be doing to improve the quality of air, besides maybe regulating vehicle pollution, dealing with open waste burning, and other factors. You also have one of the least or most shrinking green spaces, urban spaces in the world, as per studies over the last year showing. And then you go ahead to try and also deal with one of the nicest spaces that we have, actually about the only one we have now in Accra, the urban space, to reclassify. I think that is vexatious. Again, London has about the largest urban forest in the world, over 8.4 million trees in public and private spaces in London. And yet they have gone ahead to introduce clean air zones, ultra low emission zones, promoting electric vehicles and the like, just so because of the public health impact that having clean air can have. And the cost to the economy, the cost. The World Bank has indicated that we're already losing close to $2.5 billion a year from air quality related diseases and the impacts on the economy. $2.5 billion a year. And the things that need to be done to improve the space so that we don't take a hit on the economy, on the cost to our healthcare. We take actions which are inimical to that. I think it's a little difficult to kind of fathom. I see you are getting. Let me just add this. All the assemblies that border the Achimota forest, all the assemblies, if you look at their health records over the past 5 to 10 years, upper respiratory tract diseases are in the first 3 causes. And even for Ghana as a country, according to WHO, currently, air pollution-related diseases are the number 2 cause of death for the country. So sometimes because people do not see the air, and sometimes it's also difficult to have a clearer sense of what we are breathing in, we tend to overlook these things. But the numbers are clear. If you go to all the hospitals, if you go to if you ask the Ministry of Health to give information on disease burden, the trajectory and the trend of disease burden in our cities, you will see it there that diseases that did not kill us previously are now killing us. The strokes are high, and there's research to show that the poor quality of air goes to virtually every organ in the body because it's now getting into the bloodstream. And anything that gets into your bloodstream goes to every part of your body, from your brain to the heart to every part of your body, which means every organ in your body can be affected. There's research also showing now even fetuses, unborn kids in the wombs of their mothers are being affected by poor quality of air. So, and these are not stories. These are real realities where there's scientific evidence to that effect. So when we are taking some of these steps and making some interventions, we should be very mindful because there is also evidence to show that the disease burden from poor air quality compared to from the water, sanitation, and the rest, from the air pollution is over that. But we are really actively showing that we can put a borehole here because it's so easy for people to see that the political class has put a borehole. But clean air does not seem to come across as one of those things. And so when we are making decisions and we tend to overlook, meanwhile, as one of your speakers said earlier, we are putting with one hand to say this is the contribution to the green space, and we are taking with the other hand. Because every year we say we are planting 5 million trees. Let us do a mathematical assessment and see how many of the trees planted in Accra, what has been the survival rate, so that we can say that because in the past 4 years that we've been on that project, we have been able to plant 3 million trees and Achimota Forest has 2 million. So fine, let's get rid of it. So please, let us put these things in context. These are scientific evidence with clear public health implications and clear economic implications. Decision making, Godfrey said earlier, all investors in their decision making, environmental considerations are now very prominent. How many investors will go invest in a city where the pollution is so high that their staff will be falling sick? Even staff may not be willing to stay and work in those cities. So we are appealing, and we should be able to express our displeasure at this trend of decision making, because it does not help anybody. We are all living in this city. Whatever happens affects us. When we are in the air, we see Achimota Forest, we get excited because at least we are seeing some green besides the mass of concrete that we are seeing. And we need to be taking decisions with that at the back of our mind. We are grappling with open waste burning, which is also one big issue that government has made promises to try and deal with. We are grappling with that. It is contributing to the pollution. Some of the things which are helping to try and clear the system is one, like the Achimota Forest. And we need to plant more. If you, I heard that NUSPA had also made a statement. And on that, in that they are talking about the planning scheme. The large plan, the scheme that we have, every area is supposed to have a park, to have something to kind of be the lungs. Which of our areas have those parks? And even the ones that are available, that we have grass, that leaves with, we are turning it into astroturf that do not, the population is zero, the runoffs are high, causes more challenges in the scheme of things. So we have to look at things in a holistic manner, just so we don't take a short-term decision and suffer the consequence later.
You know, at some point you were at the AMA and you were in charge of the Resilient City program, and you put out a report showing us the resilience of the city to shocks and threats like flood and fire and other things like that. So before I ask whether, I mean, you've explained all that you can on what will happen to us if we lose the Achimota Forest. So let me just ask you whether or not we have put in enough efforts, enough measures, because they tell you they've been planting trees. And I remember before the government started its tree planting exercise, the AMA, while you were there, made an attempt to plant about 10,000 trees, and I asked you about it at the time, and you told me just about 1,000 trees were able to be planted, because already one of the challenges you had was the fact that the city was congested and there was no space to plant more trees within the city. So have we done enough to warrant this?
I actually honestly don't think that we've done enough. You know, there's great opportunity. Our city is beautiful. There are a lot of things we can do. Even if we're planting, encouraging the planting of trees in the houses. If you look at the number of houses that we have in Accra, if each house was planting 2 trees, and I always go back to the planning scheme, which was effected in maybe in the 70s and 80s, where if you look at Mamprobi, you look at Dansoman, North Kaneshi, all those areas, each house had a tree. Each house had some space for percolation. Each house had all these things done. What we are having now is that we are actively encouraging people to cement or fill up their spaces against the planning rules, because there's a 65-35% permeable surface and impermeable surface in all the development spaces. Let's go to all the 9 places that we can think of in Accra now and check if even we are obeying that simple aspect. I call it simple because I think it's a very simple way for the city authorities to make money, because if you violate the rules, you are supposed to be charged. You know, so we developed that resilience strategy, and I think for me, the best time or the best recognition of what contribution we made whilst we were there was because we pursued the agenda to say our city is informal. Now, if you have a highly informal city that you plan for the formal system, 70% plus are informal. Even your messaging and how you implement and everything should change. So for me, that recognition alone, I think, made it worthwhile to have spent the time there.
Very well.
But the plans that were developed, have we been able to follow through and implement them? Largely, no. And that is part of the challenge. It is not just a matter of the development of a plan. It is a matter of the implementation. What are the challenges that are preventing us from implementing and even assessing the impact of those activities? EPA has implemented a lot of measures that are supposed to have cleaned the air. How do we know the impact of it? From the lead, removing lead from fuels, sulfur levels, all that. We don't go the full haul. This is where I always get a bit frustrated.
Right.
We seem to be willing to go 2 steps, but this is a 10-step journey. We go 2 steps and we feel either too comfortable or we think we've achieved, and then we lose guard. To say it loosely, we lose guard, and then we go backwards 4 steps.
This one up here, I'll thank you. Yeah. Thank you. I'll thank you. I will drop it here and.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll keep the conversation going, and we have more critical voices joining us on the phone lines. Clement Ekapam is a law lecturer at the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, GIMPA, where an alumni sits in front of me. But he is also interested in environmental law. So let's speak to Clement Ekapam and get his perspective on what is going on. Good morning, Counsel. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Caleb. Thank you for having me.
So what do we know on this situation? What's the position of the law?
So, Caleb, I mean, you realize that when this issue started about 2 years ago, some of us wrote articles and demanded that certain things should be done following a certain laid down legal process. It appears that we are using the law to now, as to say, to redemarcate the Achimota forest, because clearly, if you look at the process that the ministry they followed, they've issued an EI to de-gazette portions of the forest reserve. But that's where I make the point that, I mean, it's not everything that is lawful and permissible is advantageous and beneficial to the larger society. Listen, we set up forest reserves based on certain specific purposes. And I think that your earlier speakers have highlighted some of these things. And if you look at the Forest Act of 1924, what the law requires that when we set up these areas, they are for specific purposes, and those purposes are meant for the entire good of the community. So now having an EI that gazettes portions of the Achimota forest, the foresters and the environmentalists will tell you that once we start introducing human activity into a forest like that, the integrity of the forest is affected. So even though we have an EI that is allowing for this degazetting, you have institutions like the Spatial Planning Authority, the engineers and planners, all these persons telling us that this is not the best use to put Achimota forest. So yes, even though there's a quote-unquote illegal basis, there's a greater basis of protection of the environment and protection of mankind. So if we look at it in that light, we should be taking steps and ensuring that this EI should be revoked. Any attempt at rezoning Achimota forest should be put on hold. We should not destroy the integrity of, I hear, the only green belt that we have currently within the country. So it's a very interesting development, because those who are undertaking the enterprise will point to a law and say we followed the legal process. I think that the discussion is now moving beyond we have followed the legal process to a discussion of whether this is advantageous and beneficial to the entirety of the society. And I think that from the concerns we have heard this morning, it is not advantageous and it's not beneficial to the larger society to use the law as a basis to de-gazette portions of Achimota forest.
What options are available in law to activists and citizens to get this repealed? And is the EI, does the EI supersede the LI and the forestry law, as you've mentioned?
No, so I mean, there are different things. The EI derives its authority from the Forest Act, and it gives the president the right to de-gazette portions of the forest. So if a forest is created by an executive instrument, you can only change the land use through another executive instrument. And that's the procedure they followed. And that's why I'm saying that even though you've done that, is it beneficial or advantageous? That's one. Then there's this LI, legislative instrument, purportedly brought to Parliament by the Environmental Protection Agency for mining in forest reserves. So this is a law passed by the EPA pursuant to the EPA Act. And we are of the view that the EPA does not even have the capacity in law to even lay this LI in Parliament, because it does not lie in the mouth of the EPA to come up with a legislative instrument for mining in forest reserves. The EPA should actually be coming up with standards against mining in forest reserves.
Yeah.
So you have these two laws that, quote unquote, are helping to facilitate some of the harm we're seeing currently being caused to our environment. And I think that it is time that in this part of the world, environmental activism, particularly using the legal process, using judicial review to challenge such actions, doesn't have appetite in this part of the world. But I think that this is an opportunity for environmental NGOs to look at how to test the law on some of these things, because it is clear that once we do not have such clear guidelines on how to protect our reserves, persons will use the legal process, which may be permissible but might not be advantageous to us.
So if I get you right, the Forest Act, the EI we are seeing now, which is allowing for the declassification of the Achimota forest, is deriving its strength from the Forest Act. And so legally there is nothing wrong, but morally and whether or not this is appropriate and it's in the interest of the general population, this is not right. That's what I'm getting from your conversation.
Precisely.
Thank you for sharing your views with us, Council Clement Akapam. So we'll keep the conversation running. Nathan, I've not heard you yet. I'll make room for you, but we'll take a quick break and then a lot of comments as well. When we return, we will share all those comments with you. Very important conversation, 97.3 Citi FM. As a Citi Breakfast Show, we'll be right back.
This is
It's a very loaded message. No, but we will not allow Asasira to win your man because we have enough. As for the Achimota forest, at least Sky will do something.
Oh no, something has
something will be done.
Something. I mean, look, you cannot sit on the fence on this matter.
Oh yeah.
We are calling on the likes of organized labor. We are calling on the teachers. We are calling on the nurses, the doctors, because they are the people attending to those with upper respiratory issues. Actually. Right? They are the people. They are the ones suffering. They are standing on their legs for hours.
Disease burden will increase.
Exactly, dealing with these issues. And the government that is given the privilege of protecting our assets for us is taking such a reckless and utterly irresponsible decision to reclassify portions of the land. That is completely unacceptable. It cannot be within the contemplation of the people who gave the power or their authority to the presidency to exercise. If you want to use that presidential power, use it in a responsible way. What is happening clearly has no responsibility, iota of responsibility behind it.
Thank you.
It is simply, as we have heard, to allow people to go in there to do what they want to do, to the detriment of lives of citizens of this country. 270,000 people likely to die if we do what we intend to do. It cannot be right. And if it comes to a court action, we would expect that the lawyers interested in the green space will support this cause. And we would expect that our judiciary will speak with a firm voice in order to suppress this deliberate attempt to put Ghanaians to the sword just because we want to put up apartments, just because we want to erect churches. The churches must also do their part.
You are sure about this church thing?
Oh, tell the people. The things that are churches
and
are involved.
Union.
Churches are involved. Church leaders. I mean, what kind of people are we?
Later.
We have converted industrial buildings into churches.
Yeah, warehouses
into churches. Factories into churches. Now we are moving in on the Achimota forest. I mean, what kind of people are we? You go to other countries, you see how the green belt is helping them.
The quality of the air in Kigali.
Charlie,
oh my God.
I mean, that is what, when you travel, that is what you see. You go to those places and you are able to think through complex problems and you provide solutions to them. You come here to Accra, every green space or every space that seems, this thing...
Is it a kiosk or concrete?
I mean, what kind of people are we? And the president who is given the authority to protect these spaces is the person whose authority is being used for the purposes of this class.
He's an SDG co-chair champion.
Completely utterly accepted.
The president and the minister, all of them are very vocal. The minister, like,
so when they go abroad for international conferences,
we've seen a lot in terms of this two-faced thing where when we are here, we do something different, and when they go outside,
speak different English. Different.
You know, like Godfrey said, the lands minister is very big on climate change. I think it's part of some committee or something on climate change globally. This is a concrete. If you want to do anything climate change to show that you are serious, this is what you must do. Protect green spaces because they are very vital to how we live. Look, in the last few years, since say 2010, look at the incidences of flooding in Accra.
Increasing.
Places where you would think would not get flooded are getting flooded very often.
Yeah.
Now, the part where they are planning to take away the Achimota forest, it sits in a general neighborhood called Jowlu. Jowlu is Gafo, Big Valley or Mighty Valley.
Oh, I see.
You know what it means? It means that side of town sits in a valley. That end. So if you drive down Dimple, Stores, Perez, that large area geographically
all of it is in a valley.
That is why when it rains, you find water sitting around. It's because geographically it's a valley. Now imagine what will happen when you clear all the forest. It means that all the water is coming down. So people like their nice houses in those parts, now they'll be contending with water because leaders we have voted in to do the work suddenly look at that lovely space, the space that protects them and us, the space that when it rains, the rain doesn't know a leader's house and a citizen's house. It doesn't know a rich man's house and a poor man's house. The water will find its way anywhere it must go. But no, the people in charge have looked at that large green space that protects all of us. It ensures that there is some good quality, at least to a point where we can all breathe and be fine. They want to get rid of that space. And getting rid of, you see, you may get rid of it and walk away with your dollars and your money and your nice house and everything. But when it rains, you equally suffer. The 4x4 you buy, it will struggle to drive through water. Water will get into that engine and the car will not work. And you spend more money keeping that house in order or buying a new car. You see, our leaders need to understand that development, like Godfrey, it's not only the houses, but development,
brick and mortar.
It's not brick and mortar only, but it is also the quality of life that we live.
A green and clean environment.
Clean environment. Go walk around Accra. Caleb, if you want a place to go and sit and think, you won't get anywhere. Parents are looking for places where their children can run around. They don't get, so they are left with either stay home and watch TV and be on your PlayStation or tablet, or you take them to the mall to go and sit and eat
in an AC.
So what are we doing to ourselves? Do we think that we are developing properly as a country, where we are getting rid of green spaces or play spaces? A few years ago, in Dafa Park, a park that has produced some of Ghana's greatest footballers, there was contemplation of selling it. I'm sure there was even a building created there, and we had to protest and protest and protest and protest. Why? Why? When we go to other places, don't we see how nice it is?
We do.
Don't we see how nice other cities look? Where even though there's modernity and concrete and hard,
there's still a very fine blend of nature.
Very lovely blend. Where in a big city, I went to Tokyo. Tokyo is a mega city.
Yeah.
Even in all of that, there are places where you can go and sit. There's greenery, sit and just relax and think and enjoy nature. The bigger cities of this world are not all concrete. There's greenery there, and there's a reason why they do it. They don't do it because it's fun. They do it because they know it balances life. But no, the children's park that we created for children, we all know the horror stories around it. There's always one attempt or the other to take a portion, sell a portion. Now, if people want to organize events, the children's park is not even suitable. Why do we want to do this to ourselves? In the year 2024, we've been to several COP this, COP that, and yet we go and sign all these things and we come back and do this. A space as green as the Achimota forest that is supposed to help balance life. We are using presidential power and our executive instrument to rezone and use it for commercial activity. Why? What is wrong with us? Why? Why do we want to do this to Accra, the country's capital? We want to turn it into a very horrible place to live. Why do we want to do this? Look, the lands minister, please get on your feet and do something about this, and do it very quickly. Because very soon you will not have any land to superintend over. Because already the fight against Galamsey is gone. Right? The fight against Galamsey is gone.
It's hard. It's a shame.
It's gone. And what? So what's next? So we've lost water. So now we are attacking land. Achimota first want to cut it up like it's pizza.
And share it.
You have, you take 2, you take 3, take 20.
Remember,
and the people who are involved, that's the shocking part. I'm even surprised when you go to, there are churches involved. Hey,
can you imagine?
Is this what the Lord Jesus Christ taught us? Churches involved. What? When you go through the Holy Scripture, it says that you are supposed to protect the environment in which you live. So are we saying that there's no elderly person involved in this who has been struck by wisdom to say, let us not proceed, because when we do this, we will all pay the price? You see, you might think that you live in your fancy house, and you might think that your house is a high rise, so when it rains, you won't be affected. No problem. When you try getting out of your house when it rains, and let's see if you can get any business done. Let's see if you can make any more money when you cannot leave your house. Let's see if you can make any more money when you want to go to the hospital but the road is flooded. Imagine if the entire crowd got flooded. How will you even leave your house to go and do all your fancy business? You can't.
Sky, I'm learning that parts of the forest have already been sold. I can share indentures with you. Sky, if I have bought the land already.
You see,
And I
meaning
have
that
my plans.
Caleb, meaning that if there was a selling, somebody must have sold it.
Yes,
we have to stop it. We have to stop it.
They should reimburse.
The law
go for their money.
You see, the decision to reclassify, with the greatest respect, is unreasonable. It is an abuse of presidential and executive discretion, if there was ever one. And it is something that, when the time comes, the courts would have to intervene.
Yeah.
The people of Ghana, even before then, have got to raise their voices.
Yeah.
There must be collective action to stop this, because the 270,000 people who would die by estimate as a result of the reclassification that is going on and the subsequent development we expect to see in the space.
Yeah.
You don't know who it is.
Yeah, it could be anyone.
It could be anybody living in Accra. 270,000 people. That's what the estimate tells us from the experts we've spoken to this morning. 270,000 people. And 207, let that sink in. 270,000 people. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. So, if this government is actually thinking about the citizens of this country, those who are alive today, those who will be born tomorrow, and those who will be born so many years after we are gone, this irresponsible presidential and ministerial decision has got to be reversed. Because it sins against everything environment that we have come to learn. Greed should not drive us to the point of sacrificing the only thing left, protecting you and I from the lung diseases of this world. It is utterly irresponsible, it is unreasonable, and it is the decision that flies in the face of all the data that people have put out, speaking against the decision to reclassify.
Very important point.
He said, behold, I come.
Yeah. More messages coming your way soon. But which bank in Ghana is always at your service? Omni Basic Bank. Which bank is ready to assist you with their 24-hour state-of-the-art contact center? As Omni Basic Bank, people, is the fastest growing corporate bank and the bank of the year 2023. Omni Basic Bank it is. We are always at your service. Call us now on 0307086000, 0302758555. Visit any of your branches nationwide to open an Omni Basic Bank account today and enjoy exceptional customer service. Omni Basic Bank at your service.
It's like a mirror.
Now, Eden Heights is a well-planned and secured gated community with access to an ultra-modern sports complex, Olympic-sized swimming pool, football courts, basketball, athletic and gym facilities, We have available 2, 3, and 4 bedroom apartments and penthouses with the highest grade of finishing for rental and sale. Eden Heights is delicately styled for your comfort and relaxation. We are located behind the West Hills Mall, Wager in Accra. For purchase and rental, call 050-153-1444 or 050-153-1445. Visit our website www.edenheights.com.gh for more details. Eden Heights is the height of modern living.
I heard the voice come to INC.
Mattresses and furniture designed with your ultimate relaxation in mind. Go out there and buy a mattress or buy all kinds of stuff from Latex Foam. Do not compromise on your health and your comfort and relaxation. Call Latex Foam on 0322008499 or visit them online, latexfoamghana.com. Latex Foam is your partner for life. Now, the Business and Financial Times is partnering KMG and Arthur Energy, who are exclusive knowledge partners, and they are all bringing you the 13th edition of the Ghana Economic Forum. It's happening on the 8th of August at the Mervyn Peck Ambassador Hotel. The theme is Unlocking Opportunities, Reengineering Ghana's Economic Model for Sustainable Development. And the guest speaker is Dr. Ernest Addison, the Governor of the Bank of Ghana. And the forum is powered by the BNFT with support from Fidelity Bank, the Ghana Stock Exchange, Olam Agri, Omnibasic Bank, Minerals Income Investment Fund, and Ghana Link. GF 2024, Ghana First. Heritage Christian University College is set up to provide a missing link in tertiary education through creativity and innovation. They are at Amasaman behind the Olympic Stadium. They are affiliated to KNUST and UCC, and they are accredited by GTech. They've got undergrad programs and master's programs, and you can reach them on 0547 777 731 or visit their website hcuc.edu.gh. Says this Achimota forest issue, successive governments have been using the Owu family to buy those lands for years. The part of the forest opposite the DSTV office along the N1 was given to some members of the family, and they had earmarked it for a mall. Unfortunately, the one who was allocated that piece of land died, and the project stalled, and the sender wants to remain anonymous, and rightly so. This one says, why are we not calling out the names of the heads of institutions engaged in this immoral act? I think the best way is to call all the names on air, okay? And this one says, do you remember the aviation lands at La Transmission Station, Cantonments, and La Nkwantanan Receiving Station? The professional associations in civil aviation put up resistance. Go there and see how all the lands have been taken. As for the chief of staff, what her decision was on those lands. Accidents can never be avoided. They have only been postponed. Harry from Kaswa says, are these attempts to capture the state's property part of the supposed Japanese agenda which has been circulating in the media? I think we should start taking some rumors seriously. This, no, then what we never wish for will be right in front of us. Okay. This one says, if the family in question was not compensated as the government is claiming now, what stops the government from paying new compensation instead of the so-called declassification of the forest reserve? It's just plain greed. Joy from Dakuman. Why won't the Owu family go to court if they think the government took over their property without compensation? Is it not what anyone who has a cause of action will do? The government attempts to declassify and return parts of the Achimota forest is a scheme or project to declassify, loot and share by the political class, families and friends. This one is from Dale. This one says, do people lose their morality and humanity and allow greed to cloud their sense of good judgment and fairness? Do we get into politics to pursue our own agenda or advance what is in the interest all and supported by common sense? How can people even think about the Achimota forest that has been left there for purposes of serving as absorbing pollution in the city? Just as we rose against the sale of Smith shares in La Palm, all workers should stay at a demonstration against making the Achimota forest a concrete jungle. Justin Sakumona says this classification of the Achimota forest is just proof of the content of Sir John's will. The EI is just to legitimize it. The lands minister has failed to provide the list of beneficiaries of the sharing of the lands. Dr. Thompson Boama from Adenta says, if we resign ourselves to inaction, declaring that the situation is hopeless and the land is irreparably lost, we will be complicit in the devastating consequences that follow. By choosing not to act, we will share responsibility for the lives lost as a result of our collective apathy. This one says, the reality of the issue on the ground is that the demarcated portions seeking declassification are all portions that are clearly under individual and private ownership already through looting. We saw some people will portions out. All they are seeking is a legislative backing to commence development legally within the forest, and that should be stopped. This one says, my suggestion to the problem is that let's give incentives to people to plant trees. For example, tax reliefs for the number of trees you have in your home. Nana in Lakeside Estates. David Ayete Kwashi says there was a big forest reserve at Afienya from Tor Estate up to Apollonia. One individual just woke up one day and graded the whole forest. What a shame. This was the education is low on the environment. That's why the politicians have taken advantage. Let's write a petition on this issue. It's urgent. And Johnson Clifford says the Dodoa Forest Reserve is half gone.
I'm trying to find a law that backs this point I'm trying to make. I understand that the Ramsar sites are designated under wildlife and nobody is allowed to live there. That underscores the illegality of building in those areas in Tema and Labadi especially. The law to declassify lands only rests with Parliament. If those who have been entrusted are the ones changing the land use, then we are in deep trouble. It's like being robbed by your security man. It's shameful. When these chiefs sell the land, is money made for the people or the chiefs themselves? The Land Act 2020 Act 1036 requires that chiefs should be accountable to their people. The subjects for these chiefs should rise up and ask their chiefs what they do with the money from the sales. Leaders, please think of the future. Sonia Asari send her through. To the top of the hour, and the season is upon us where the world's greatest athletes will all gather in Paris for the 2024 Olympics. From the 26th of July to the 11th of August, DSTV will bring you the best coverage of every moment live and in HD via 8 dedicated channels. So tune in to catch our athletes Benjamin Azamatijo, Paul Amwa, and our 4x100 relay teams as they take on the world's best and hopefully chalk some wins. Renew your subscriptions today by dialing star 759 hash to follow the 2024 Paris Olympic Games only on DSTV. DSTV is your home of entertainment.
Now, Twisco is a new exciting chocolate beverage out there on the market. It's from the people that gave us Cowbell. Twisco is made from a premium blend of cocoa powder, and it's rich with NF4, and it's available in 20 grams and can be found at your nearest neighborhood store for only 1 cedi, 80 pesos. They have the large tins as well for those who want something for their family. Start your day with a cup of the great tasting Twisco and power your dream. And this ad is FDA approved.
Oh, yeah. Last quarter to the top of the hour. When we return from this break, we'll get into the drip conversation. I don't know. I love it. We'll come back to that though. There are more nuances to that conversation. So when we are back, we'll wrap up on this one, the Achimota Forest, and enter into the drip nation.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Enhance your business operations with the HP Color LaserJet 150NW printer. You can print, copy, and scan up to 19 pages per minute with high-quality mobile scans or customizable shortcuts in the HP Smart app that delivers effortless use from wherever you work so you can focus on growing your business. Take advantage of its Wi-Fi direct printing and intuitive touchscreen, which are both designed to simplify your day. With the HP Color LaserJet 150NW printer, experience fast and easy setups and improved overall printing efficiency with a 20,000 page duty cycle built to keep you and your business secure and moving forward with embedded security that is pre-configured out of the box to detect and stop attacks. The HP Color LaserJet 150NW printer is available at all Kompu Ghana stores. Visit KompuGhana.com or call 0302 752 020 for more information.
make money.
Critical. But you have to do it.
But you have to do it the right way, not destroying the city in the process. No, that's for that one. We won't sit for it. We won't stand for it. No, this is really poor.
It's
bad judgment on the side of whoever.
If seriously, I've paid heavy money for parts of the Achimota forest already, and I'm listening to you on the radio, and we are all saying what you are saying. What am I supposed to be doing?
Clearly.
Your conscience.
What happens to my money? It's big money. What do I do? Should I go back for the money? What if they don't pay me?
You see, we should not be willing participants in our own destruction. We should not. And the people who should be the conscience of the nation
are becoming a threat to the conscience of the nation.
A threat and are willing participants in what's happening. I mean, you are a church leader of some influence. Why would you partake in this exercise? Why? You are a leading political figure. People look up to you. And some of you are from parts of this country where the land is barren.
Yes. And you've seen
the level of destruction that that state of things has done to your economy, your people.
The endemic poverty as a result.
So you will be the last people to be active participants in the effort to rob us of what's left to protect you and I. The TUC and all these labor unions who did a brilliant job protecting the snitch hotels.
Yeah.
They did a fantastic job. When they spoke, everybody listened.
They should get involved.
The government panicked, and the right thing was done. At least for now, we have protected those assets. Great thing they did. But this is a more urgent danger to all of us. Because we heard the numbers this morning. 270,000 Ghanaians or people within our jurisdiction here in the city of Accra likely to die if we allow this unreasonable, reckless, irresponsible executive decision to stand.
A few months ago, guys, do you remember?
So we need to mobilize.
We have to.
Defeat this EI that is allowing the irresponsibility that is going on.
You remember a few months ago?
Before you go.
Just finish. Please.
If those who are the leaders don't have the presence of mind, don't have the conscience, the executive wisdom to protect that which we have entrusted in their care, we the citizens have got to remind them. We have got to teach them that, look, that is not how you do it. That is not how you do it. You could be part of the 270,000 people, or you could be part of the people burying one of the 270,000 people. So the choice is yours. This is too dark. It is too horrifying. It is too unreasonable. It is too irresponsible a decision to take.
I was going to say that, remember a few months ago, was it sometime in March when the temperatures...
the heat wave.
Yeah, the heat wave. Right? Now just imagine if we get rid of trees and greenery and forest cover and all of that in this city. Just imagine how living here would look like. Just imagine the heat where there are no trees to take away the carbon dioxide, no trees to provide shade. And we forget that trees, because they are expelling carbon dioxide, they play a key part, in the ecology, rain cycles, all of those things, shade and all of that. So if people haven't thought about it, they need to ask themselves a very simple question. That if I am part of the government and I am part of this and I want to give away portions of the Achimota forest, so whatever commercial interest, can I live in this city? You see, because you can lie to yourself that, I live in a high rise or a condo is AC, car is AC, office is AC. But you see, there will come a day when you need to walk. or you won't have access to the AC, or something, you must do something out in the open. Then you realize that living in this city is unbearable. But it's all down to an action or inaction on your part in the year 2024, when your conscience should have told you that no, I should not be part of this. Because the Achimota Forest, like you've established, it's helping a great way, or a great deal. So we all need to be involved. Media, civil society, the legal fraternity, people who are interested in saving the environment. We should all be involved. We should all pitch in and ensure that this EI does not become a living thing that will cause a problem for all of us. Because like Richard said, you might think that, this 270,000 is far from me. It may not affect you directly or indirect, whatever. But you see, even if it doesn't affect you directly, it will affect you indirectly, because you might know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who will be affected. Let's all rise up and let's stop this law from
It's top of the hour. Thank you for being a part of the day. Thank you for being a part of the show. It's a campaign, it's an advocacy, it's an activism, it's a way of life. We'll continue this until our environment is protected. And so we're not giving up. Don't give up yet. It's a shame, but we're not giving up. Until Ghana Befan Ntuma Papa Ifra, like a young lady who has fra hair, nice scarf and things, sitting in front of me, ready to read the news at 10. How are you?
Caleb, good morning.
I'm
doing well, thank you.
How are you? How are
Caleb,
you?
good morning.
I said, how are you?
Good morning.
How are you?
Good morning.
Okay, what's in the news?
Coming up, residents living around Anya School Junction issue a week ultimatum to authorities to fix non-functioning street light. And later, minority demands to know cost of equipment for the district road improvement program. Details of our stories now.